Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Hello and welcome to coverage of the ECL Elite Division here on twitch.tv/SportsGamerGG. My name is Brandon B-Bage Bigsby Sin, not here with us today. Hopefully he will be back in the booth with me here tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, you came in at a good day. We've got two spectacular matchups here, starting off with, a series that has been a final series multiple times here in this division. Straikers versus Tunnel Vision, two teams that are battling for a couple of the top spots here in the ECL Elite Division, as we are just a few days away from playoff action here throughout our ECL divisions. And after that, we have a rematch of the ECL Pro semifinals from last season. Two teams that are making their ECL Elite debut, trying to jockey for position. Renascor versus Purification. But first, we start out with the Straikers versus Tunnel Vision series. But before we do that, let's give you a quick look at the standings just to show you where these teams are right now and how things are looking. You can see these two currently third and fourth, tied with 52 points apiece. And really, I think the big thing is that either of these two sides are going to end up passing to Tortit for that number 2 spot. So a lot to play for here for both these sides, while the other side going to end up either ahead of the Tortit or behind them, depending on if they can steal some points here in one of these two games. But you just kind of look around and, this race just so tight. Between 57 all the way to 42, it's just really a few games difference with that 3-point win format. You're talking about a 5-game differential between 8 and 1. So just the parity throughout the league this year, so important. And then again, for our series later, Purification trying to fight their way into a playoff spot for their first elite season, while Renascor trying to get on the good side of no man's land, currently in a spot where they would have to play relegation series to be back in the elite division for next season. So 4 teams with a lot to play for, but 2 teams that are championship teams facing off against each other to start out. Straikers versus Tunnel Vision. Let's take a quick look at the matchup to see how these two teams have stacked up against one another so far this season. And you get a look at it, both of them, no question, bar none, elite so far this season. Offensively, 77 goals for Straikers, 61 for Tunnel Vision. Really, the biggest thing has been the play in their own end so far this year. Straikers with the heavy advantage there. 49 goals against so far for Straikers this season, just 67 for Tunnel Vision. A lot higher than what we are used to seeing from them. Typically a team that is very good offensively, but can back it up in their own end a little bit too. That's really not matched up though so far this season. Tunnel Vision actually currently with one of the higher end goals against that you would see in the Elite Division, actually in the bottom four in the Elite Division in goals against per game, 2.58, while Straikers 1.88, second best in the league. So play in their own end going to be a very, very important thing to look out for. It'd be interesting to see if Tunnel Vision can step up their game in that department. Take a look at the starting lineups here for both of these two teams, and we'll start things out looking at Straikers. Puanzo, Eki, and Tempinen going to be the forward trio up front, while it'll be Nasustelia and Flyer Kungen manning the defensive pair behind them, and in between the pipes, Hanselinho, the legendary goaltender from his Havu days, now with Straikers, going to be manning the pipes here in this critical matchup for his team. While for Tunnel Vision, the 3-4 trio will be Yurska at left wing, Vatu at center, and Picardi at right wing, while the defensive pairing will be Tombo at left D and Vanger at right D, while in between the pipes, it will be Bennu, who has come in and been a stalemate for Straikers in between the pipes since Nikkei transferred out. See if he can step up here today for this Tunnel Vision team who, once again, trying to sure things up in their own zone. Let's compare the centers here as we have Eki versus Vatu, a classic matchup here between these two sides, and you can see it with the way that they have played. They have just both been absolutely spectacular so far this season. Two of the leading point getters, Vatu currently third in the league in points. Eki not in that top 10, but still has been phenomenal in the games he's played, over a 2-point per game pace. He's been a playmaker for this team with 32 assists. The face-off percentage going to be something to really look out for. A massive discrepancy there, 13% to be exact, in favor of Eki. So going to be interesting to see Vatu match up with Eki at that face-off dot, especially considering that Vatu, typically a left wing throughout most of his time, manned the center spot in 2 games yesterday for Tunnel Vision against the Blackjacks, so we'll see if he can do it against one of the best centers that you will find throughout the league in Eki on the other side. And speaking of the wingers, let's take a look at the wingers here for both of these two teams, as both of them have plenty of scoring punch, and you'll kind of get a look at that here as Puanzo at that left wing, Tempinen at that right wing for Straikers. Both of those guys over 20 goals so far this season. We've seen them make an impact for the Straikers team. We'll see if they can continue to do it again. While for Tunnel Vision, Picardi at that right wing side and Yurska at the left wing side. And interesting thing here for Tunnel Vision is that Yurska playing in just his 5th and 6th games here today. You know, no Leitinen in the lineup, a guy that has 45 points in 24 games. We're going to see what Yurska can do. A guy that has chemistry with this Tunnel Vision side from their days with Sawo Esports. You see the Sawo apparel on his picture. So a guy that might not play a lot so far this season, but nevertheless has the chemistry, has the skill to be able to make plays happen. It'll be fun to see if he can make an impact here in his time in the lineup. Let's take a look at the defense. As you see both these two sides, really solid so far defensively for Straikers. I mean, both offensively and defensively. You look at Flyer Kuhn especially, 13 goals in 26 games back at defense. He has just been absolutely amazing back there. Was typically a center and a left winger for those Havu teams back in the day. Came to Straikers when they were in Finlanda, transitioned back to defense. He's been phenomenal, arguably a candidate for Defender of the Year. Definitely will have a few votes in there for that. And Nasu Steli right next to him has been just as good. But it's Tombu and Vanger who we're going to be really looking at. These two have been paired for a couple of seasons now, and they've been a part of one of the better defensive cores in the entire Elite Division. But this season, a little bit more of a struggle. As we mentioned, the 4th highest goals allowed per game of any team in the Elite Division coming into tonight. They're going to have to step up here against the Striker side that, as we know, can be very, very dangerous on the offensive end. So they're going to have to be better, especially considering that this is critical for playoff seeding. Both of these two teams are likely going to end up in the top 3 or 4, but nevertheless, the better positioning you can get, the better it helps your chances down the line in those playoffs. And last but not least, the goaltending battle. The goalie is going to be such a fun contest to watch. Hanselinho versus Bennu. Both of these guys have been great. Bennu's stats dipped a little bit compared to previous seasons, a 79.9%. Typically a guy that is above that 80% mark, but nevertheless, a guy that can step up and steal games on any given night. still looking for his first shutout this season as well. Tunnel Vision has yet to have a shutout so far as a team this year. Very surprising to see the lower defensive numbers for Tunnel Vision, but nevertheless, if they can step up here today, it would help them get on the right track going into the playoffs. And then Hasalino at that goaltender spot, 84.1 save percentage, one of the top goalies once again in the Elite Division this season. I mean, let's be honest, it's something that we've said for 4 or 5 years now that he's been one of the top goalies in the division. No surprise to see him putting the numbers up that he has been. As we will bring it back into the studio here as these two teams get ready here in just a few minutes. We are going to take a short break here as they do get things set up, but do not go away. We will have puck drop between Straikers and Tunnel Vision on the other side. Two of the top teams in Europe. You're not going to want to miss it, ladies and gentlemen, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, we are back. Thank you for sticking with us. Puck drop in game one between Straikers and Tunnel Vision, just a few moments away. So we appreciate you guys being patient with us as they get things set up. As we'll take one more quick look here at the team matchup between these two sides. And, you know, as we talked about, both of these teams have been amongst the elite, no pun intended, offensively so far this season. I mean, Tunnel Vision, they've been one of the top scoring teams for a long time now, second in the league in goals for per game. Straikers right behind them in third. Really the story of this one, as we mentioned, going to be the play in the defensive end. Straikers with the second best goals allowed per game, while Tunnel Vision a little bit more of a struggle. Fourth worst in the league. They're only in front of Hymo, Goons, and Gotham Knights. Two of those three teams are currently in the relegation zone right now. So unfortunately for Tunnel Vision, they've not been at the same level in their own end compared to they have in past seasons. If you want a comparison, last season they were first in the league in goals allowed per game with a 1.57. This season, all the way up to a 2.58. So they're averaging an extra goal per game than they were last season. Want to grab that number and compare that for you. The power play is going to be interesting as well, with both of these two teams being strong in the power play. But again, Tunnel Vision being a little bit weaker in their own end, struggling just a little bit on that penalty kill with a 62%. As these two teams have matched, they have met up, and we are ready to roll for Straikers versus Tunnel Vision. Tunnel Vision going to be the home side for this first game as they wear their classic all blacks, while Straikers in their Seattle Kraken-esque jerseys, the white, teal, and blue, as we will be looking at the perspective of Tunnel Vision. And we are underway as Puanzo controls it here at the left boards. He gets it poked off of his stick immediately. Tunnel Vision will get it. Now Yurska will give it back over to Tombu to control things. Working it now is Tunnel Vision here in their own zone. It's up to the right boards to Bakari. Bakari back to Tombu at the point. Shot on. Save made by Hansalinho. Banger holds it at the high point. We'll just dump that down. Yurska gives chase as a delayed penalty going to be called against Straikers, as that will put Tunnel Vision on the power play. That's going to go against Flyer Kungan, the right defenseman, as you see right there, call him on that tripping penalty. So that'll put Tunnel Vision, that 34% power play that we were just talking about, on the board here. We'll see if they can capitalize on it. You see the lineups for both sides on the bottom left and right hand corner of your screen. Tie up, face off, poked and won by Tunnel Vision. Controlling it, here's Tombu. Gives it over to Picardi. Puck loose and picked up by the left winger of Yurska. Vanger controls it. Nice poke check there made by Puanzo. And that will bring the puck back in the neutral zone. A little bit over a minute left on this power play. Tunnel Vision looking for their first shot on net with the man advantage. Poke checked away again in the neutral zone. Stifling defense here from Straikers. Fatu tried to give it down low over to Bikari, but couldn't find him, as Bennu will play that out over to Vanger with 30 seconds left on the power play to go. Vatu back over to Tombu, back to Vanger at the right point. Shot on, blocked in front, but Vanger gets it back. Bakari at the right side, holds a shot on the slot, blocked in front, another shot on, saved by Hansalinho in net. As we are back to 5-on-5, Yurska shot on, puck loose in front, battle for it, another shot, save made again by Hansalinho. He will hold on for the whistle, as Tunnel Vision late on that power play had a flurry of opportunities, but a couple of blocks in front, a few big saves from Hansalinho, keeps this game at 0-0. Face-off won by Tunnel Vision. Controlling it here is Tombu, up to Vanger. Shot from the point will be blocked as Eki controls it, but loses it almost immediately. Tunnel Vision picks the puck up on the opposite side. Tombu takes it up. Finds his way to Yurska, tried to dump it down low, but Flyer Kungan picks it off, but it's picked back up by Vatu on the turnover. Now back to Tempinen. The Straikers get it back. Eki speeding down over to Puanzo, breakaway, backhand, and he scores! beats Bennu on the backhand, and Straikers strike first, a 1-0 lead after all of that push from Tunnel Vision over the last 5-minute span. As Puanso on the breakaway got that pass over from Tempinen, beats Bennu on that backhand. As you get a look at it in close, as Bennu just not able to get over to that right side in time. And Straikers with a 1-0 lead to start this thing out. Great way for them to start out after Tunnel Vision looked well on their way to find the first goal on that power play, and a little bit after that as well. We'll see if they can punch back as they have the puck right now. Wenger controlling it, lost it as he skated it past the blue line, and now here comes Eki in the neutral zone. Takes his time past the blue line, goes down low. Puanso has it. Puanso at the left corner board trying to find some space and couldn't, as Tombu picks it up and bounces it up to Yurska at the left boards. Yurska to Vatu, back to Yurska, one-time shot blocker save made by Hanselino. Empeden now controls it here for Straikers. 9 minutes to play. Straikers lead 1-0. Two of the top teams in the Elite Division facing off here. They've met 3 out of the last 4 seasons in either the semifinals or the finals. So very likely that we could be seeing a preview of one of the biggest series of the season. Picardi controls it over at the right boards, had it poked away, but Vatu cleans it up, but he gets it poked away from him, and Flower Kungen comes out with it for Straikers. Wanso with it, now over to Eki, out to Nasustelia as he tiptoes his way past the blue line, puck poke checked away, picked up by Picardi, and now Tombu will give it over to Wenger, who gives it back to Tombu, goes up the left boards, hitting Yurska, who goes back to Tombu at the point. Tombu to Wenger at the high right point, looking for a shot, doesn't have it. Skates his way in, passes inside, but nothing there. Nasustelia picks it up for Straikers. Skating it up is Puanso with speed. Stops at the left corner boards, looking for a pass around, and he finds it over in Flyer Kungen, who's pushing down low. Tempeden up to Nasustelia. Tried to get it back to Tempeden, but it's picked off there by Wenger, as here comes Tunnel Vision on the other side. A shot on. Easy save made from Hanselino. We'll hold on for another stoppage with 3:04 to play. Face off to the left of Hanselino. Tombu controls it, gives it to Yurska. Shot on. Another shot on. A rebound attempt there. Unfortunately for Tunnel Vision, Picardi just not able to get his full stick on that puck for the second shot. Fortunate break for Straikers, as Tunnel Vision controlling it here. Wenger to Tombu. Tried to get it, but Tempeden pokes it. He has a breakaway. Tempeden goes forehand backhand, but can't not make the play. Hit off of the stick of Bennu. A lucky break there potentially for Tunnel Vision as they go up the ice in the offensive zone. Yurska controls it. Yurska goes down a little Picardi. Biz tries to pass it in front, puck loose on the side, delayed penalty called against Straikers, and Tunnel Vision with 5 seconds left in the first period will go on the power play. That's Flyer Kungen who will go to the box yet again, a cross-checking penalty this time, his second time in the box here in this game. So you can see it right there, just that puck battle behind the net. That one little extra shove there draws the cross-checking penalty, and Tunnel Vision with 4 seconds left here in this first period. Tie up on the face-off, puck loose, picked up by Puanso, who will just hold on to it and kill the rest of this time off. That will do it for the opening period. Plenty of action between these two sides, just as advertised, but Straikers, they 1-0 advantage. The breakaway goal from Puanso giving Straikers the early advantage here in the first 20 minutes. As we take a quick peek at the stats there, 6-1 shot advantage in favor of Tunnel Vision. A little bit over a minute extra of time on attack as well, over 3 minutes of time on attack. Straikers with just a little bit over 2 minutes with 1 shot on net. So really, it's been Tunnel Vision controlling the play. The question is, when will they be able to find their way to that goal? Still searching, trying to here, as they will have that power play to try to find their way to it. We'll see if they can do so in this second period. We'll have basically the full power play coming up here in this second. We are underway. Face-off won by Straikers in the neutral zone. Puanzo controls on the boards. We'll just ring that down low, and it'll be picked up and brought up here by Tombu for tunnel vision. Puck finds its way to Picardi. Picardi holding it. Goes down low to Yurska. Now to Vatu behind the net. Now to Picari up at the right face-off dot. Now back down to Vatu. Vatu spins right to get that wrap around through the 5-hole, but save made by Hanselino. Up to Tombu at the point. Now to Wenger. Wenger to Picardi. Shot on. Puck loose in front. Picked up by Puanzo, who tries to dump it. Can't do it the first time, but Tepinen gets the puck. It will dump that all the way to the opposite end. 20 seconds left on the power play now for tunnel vision. Running out of time. Wenger to Tombu. To Vatu now. They pass the blue line in the offensive zone. Back to Tombu at the left point. Bumped off of that puck as we're back to 5-on-5. Gets a back shot on. Blocked in the front. And Straikers regain possession as Eki gives it up over to Tepinen, back to Flaherkungen. Now to Tepinen, to Puanzo. Can't control it, bumped off as now Wenger gets it. It will speed its way up the right boards here for Straikers. Pass across to Picardi, puck loose in front. Picked up by Hanselino, and he'll hold on here for a whistle. So tunnel vision not able to take advantage of that power play. 0 for 2 now on it. Talked about that PK of Straikers, one of the stronger ones in the Elite Division, over 80%. Soft one by tunnel vision in the offensive zone. Shot on, puck loose, battled for. Vatu tried to get the shot on, but couldn't. He gets it back, however. Vatu holds it backhand and gives it back to the point to Tombu. Now to Wenger, now to Picardi over at the right face-off circle. Now goes back to Tombu, now to Vatu. Tried to hit the one-timer over to Yurska, but it was picked off and away by Straikers' defender, but tunnel vision gets it back. Wenger holds it, shot on, tried to tip it there, was Picardi, but couldn't get all of it. And now Straikers trying to get out of their own zone, they finally do. So skates it past the blue line in the offensive zone. Goes down low, over to Tepinen, but he turns it over, and now here comes tunnel vision on the other end, trying to counter, but can't. Tepinen holds it, shot on, glove save made by Bennu. He'll hold on here for a freeze. Nearly halfway through this one, 11:47 to go here in period number 2. Straikers just holding on to that 1-goal lead. It was Puanzo who got the opening goal. Tunnel vision looking for a response. Straikers looking to extend that lead as a shot on from Tepinen. Save made off of the left pad of Bennu. Straikers still control. Down low with it is Flaherkungen. Turned over there as Picari was able to pick that pass away. Tombu will bring this back and will hold on, trying to reset things here just a little bit here for tunnel vision. Wenger tried to force that pass up, couldn't, but he gets it back here. Wenger trying to find space. Vatu shot on, blocked in front there from the slot. Puck battle forward in the right corner. Dumped down by Wenger to Yurska at the left side. Now up to Tombu. Tombu over the left board, shot on, blocked and away. Nice play there defensively. Made by, I believe, it was Flaherkungen. Asustelia trying to just work his way past the blue line. Nothing available, and Straikers will reverse course and reset. Asustelia trying again, gets it past the blue line, but only for a second. This is turned over. Nice defense there from tunnel vision, but they're not able to do anything on the counter. They get it back in the neutral zone, and Yurska skates it past the blue line, but an offside going to be called. Face off to the left side of the neutral zone. Tie up, won by Eki and Straikers. Flaherkungen controls the breakout. Gets it past the blue line on a pass from Eki. Tries to pass that down low, but it's picked up by Tombu here for tunnel vision. Poked away there as Wenger tried to skate it up. Nice defensive play there made from Puanzo. He gets it and keeps it. Gives it up to Eki. Up to Nasustelia. The Flaherkungen high point shot. Save made by Bennu. Puck loose. Scooped up again by Bennu, and he will hold on to stop play with 4:28 remaining. So Straikers, a nice defensive play. They get rewarded with a couple of nice offensive opportunities to boot. Face off now in the Straikers offensive zone. Won by Straikers. Flaherkungen tried to hit Tepinen on the one-timer, but it was picked off by Yurska, who skates it into the offensive zone, but turns it over almost immediately as he crossed the blue line. Nasustelia controls it here. Gives it to Eki at the left board. Eki skates in, shot on, saved by Bennu, finds the puck in traffic. It will once again freeze it for another stoppage. Less than 3 minutes to play in the second period. Still a 1-0 game in favor of Straikers. And all of a sudden, Straikers starting to find their rhythm here a little bit offensively as well, looking to extend that lead. Face off to the right of Bennu. One in the defensive zone by Tunnel Vision. Vanger gets it past the blue line, gives it to Vatu, shot on, save made by Hanselinho, but Tunnel Vision maintains possession. Vanger at the right point, tries to give it over to Yurska, but it's poke checked just a little bit there by Tepinen to create that turnover, and Nasustelia will now control the breakout. Zelia searching for options and finds Tempinen. Gives it to Flower Kungan. Turned over, however, and Vatu gets it. 40 seconds remaining in the second period. Fast 30 seconds here. This is down to 20 just like that. Now 10. Tempinen gates it in the neutral zone. Gets it back in the past the blue line. Shot on! They score! Becky cleans up the garbage side, and Straikers late in the second period make it a 2-0 lead over Tunnel Vision. As you get a look at that there, and there was just a puck battle in front. I couldn't tell who that was. They were trying to get control of it. I believe it was Picardi or Tombu, one of the two, trying to get that puck. Their player just couldn't get control of it. Eki was able to, and maybe a bit of a fortunate bounce there for Straikers, but they're not going to complain. Extends their lead to 2, and that will take us to the end of the second period. A 2-0 advantage for Straikers over Tunnel Vision. And now Tunnel Vision with a lot of work to do here over the next 20 minutes of play. As you get a look there at the save from Bennu in that period, we saw Straikers start to find their game a little bit there offensively throughout that second period, especially during the last 8 to 10 minutes of it. Remember when it was really all Tunnel Vision? All of a sudden things have really evened up, 6-9 in shots in favor of Tunnel Vision. Tunnel Vision had 6 of those shots in the first period. So goes to show you that Straikers really got the better of Tunnel Vision there offensively in that second period of play. As we'll get another look there at that second goal. Just a lot of traffic there. I mean, you're seeing, I'm counting 8 of the 10 guys there on the ice that are skaters in that picture, battling for that puck, and it just happens to find his way to Eki. Bennu just not able to get to that left post in time, and Straikers, solid position here in the second period as we are underway in the third. Straikers have it in the offensive zone. They tried to bring it up to the left point, but nobody home. They'll go all the way back in their defensive zone. Forces a reset as Nasustelia gives up to Puanzo at the boards. Now the Tempinen gates it in. Lost control of it, however, and here comes Tunnel Vision on the other end. Vanger controls it. Vanger pass to Bikari. Backhand shot. Saved by Hanselinho at ease. 10th shot of the game there for Tunnel Vision as Hanselinho hold on for the stoppage. Face off to the left side of Hanselinho. Won by Straikers in the defensive zone. Nasustelia gives it to Tempinen. Skates it out of the defensive zone, but loses it immediately. Tombu will go all the way back and reset things, trying to start a breakout here. Nothing available to him. Nice job there defensively from Straikers to break that pass up. Puanzo controls it now in the offensive zone for Straikers. Skates in, trying to get in front of the net for a shot, but it was bumped off of the puck before he could get that off. Vanger controls it, but he loses it. Now here comes Puanzo on the other end. Finds Nasustelia with time and space. Nasustelia forehand back. Oh, tried to get that shut off, but he was bumped off from behind. Straikers still control it, however. Flyer Coogan with it over at the right boards. Dumps it down low, given chase and chopped over by a defender of Tunnel Vision, and it finds its way to Tombu for possession. Tombu, tried to hit the left winger of Yurska, but couldn't do so cleanly. Here comes Straikers now on the other end. Guanzo goes down low. Found Tempinen, tried to get that backhand off in front, but couldn't as there was a body in front. 11.5 to play here in the third period. Tunnel Vision starting to run thin on time. Down by 2 here in this one. Straikers in control. Also has it, the left board's bumped off that puck, but Eki gets it for him. Down low to Tempinen. Tempinen looking for space, goes back down low. Finds his way to Puanzo. Puanzo battling forward, but it's picked off and won by Vanger. Two skates past the blue line, but it's poked away immediately as he crossed into the offensive zone, but Tunnel Vision gets it back in the neutral zone now. Tombu controlling it again, and another forced reset. Great defense here by Straikers here in the neutral zone right now. Dambu gets it to Yuriska, but could not get that pass off to the middle. Turnover, and here comes Straikers on the counterattack. Eki gets it past the blue line, finds Tempin over at the right boards. Now to Nasastelia to point back to Eki, back to Flyer Kunkin, but could not keep himself on the right side of that blue line, and offside will be called with 7.5 minutes remaining in the third period. Straikers holding on well to their 2-goal advantage. Face-off tied up and won by Straikers. Flyer Kungan skates it in, pass across, tried to hit Eki, another shot on, hits the side of the cage. It's found by Bennu, who will play this. Getting a little bit aggressive now as tunnel vision. Find the offensive zone, Vatu controls it at the left corner board, gives it up to the point to Tambu, now to Wenger at the right side. Wenger skates in that face-off circle, tried to get that pass across, but nothing there. It was picked off by Tempinen, and for tunnel vision, you wonder if you maybe start prioritizing shots on net. They keep trying to find the middle, but nothing available right now. Straikers just collapsing in the slot, not giving them any options down there for those passes. An offside going to be called with 4 minutes and 26 seconds remaining here in the third period. Time on attack very even, just a 25-second difference between these two sides. Straikers holding that slight advantage, and they've held the heavy advantage at the face-off circle. Eki now 13-4 in the face-off battle over Vatu, who, as we mentioned, typically a left winger, a 41% face-off percentage coming into tonight. That's held true so far. Eki at a 54%. It's less than 3 minutes remaining. Tunnel vision trying to find their way to a late comeback. Can't keep possession there as Puanzo holds it. Gets it in the offensive zone. And Straikers is trying to kill time. Less than 2 minutes now. Yuriska gets in the offensive zone. Drops it back over to Tambu at the point. Now to Wenger. Wenger skates in, turns it over. Puck loose and picked up by Flyer Kungan in front of the net. 1 minute remaining. Straikers looking on their way to a victory. The question is, will they hold serve on the scoreline? Vatu had it, but got bumped from behind. Tempinen now with it, draws a tripping call, as that will be Tambu going to the box. And if there was any doubt that Straikers was going to finish this one off, that penalty right there should very well seal the deal for Straikers. So the first power play of the day here upcoming for Straikers. They won't have a lot of time on it, but see if they can maybe capitalize here and extend their lead to 3 here before the end of this one. Tie up face-off, won by Straikers. Puanzo had it for a second, but turned over as Vatu gets it past the red line and now works his way into the offensive zone. Vatu working past the defense. Puck put on Hanselinho. He makes the save. We'll play that out as Straikers have possession. 5 seconds remaining. One last chance for tunnel vision to try to break the shutout. They will not be able to, and that will do it. A 2-0 victory for Straikers over tunnel vision. A dominant performance, really, after that first period. Hanselinho with the shutout. A well-deserved one at that as well. His 3rd shutout of the season, the 4th for Straikers as a team. And now, just like that, the standings favoring Straikers just a little bit. They now move up to 2nd over Toturi and Bjorklöven. Tunnel vision now still stuck at that 5th spot. So we'll see if they can make good on it here in game 2. But game number 1, all about the Straikers, who find their way to victory. A goal in the first period late, a goal in the second period late. Tunnel vision just never able to really coordinate a response. You gotta look at the stats there. A 10-save shutout for Hanselinho. We will go back into the booth as Straikers with a 2-0 victory. We'll see what kind of response tunnel vision can muster up, as we're going to take a short break here. A word from our amazing sponsor in Kovan Lockerdusy. We thank them for their amazing support. Do not go away. We'll be right back here with a puck drop of game number 2. Straikers looking to get 6 points. Tunnel vision looking to split here and find a response after that 2-0 Straikers victory in game number 1.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
We are back. Thank you for sticking with us as we get ready for game number 2 between Straikers and Tunnel Vision. Straikers finding the victory in game number 1, 2-0. We'll take one quick peek at the standings as they are now updated just to give you a look at how things look going into this game. As we mentioned, Straikers able to find their way to that victory in game number 1. They are now in that second spot in control over Totorit. Now, with another victory in regulation, they could find themselves in that number 1 spot over Valukoitinen Esports. Granted, Valukoitinen does have the advantage in games in hand, but nevertheless, you see the opportunity there for Straikers to potentially get themselves in that number 1 spot, or at the very least, strengthen their grasp on number 2. While for Tunnel Vision, they are currently in 4th. Need to get at least a regular overtime victory to pass Totori for number 3. So a massive game here for Tunnel Vision, trying to improve their way in the standings as these two sides have matched once again. We're about ready to get underway here for game number 2. It'll be Tunnel Vision this time that is on the road side. Straikers at home. As we mentioned, big points here on the line for both teams. Straikers could potentially go into 1st in the league, at least for now. Tunnel Vision could go into 3rd here with a victory in regulation. You can see the lines for both sides in the bottom left and right-hand corners of your screen as we are underway. Tunnel Vision with control of possession as Tombu skates it past the blue line, finds his way to Bikari. A nice defensive play there made by Straikers. Tapping speeds his way past the blue line over on the right side. Goes down low over to Eki. Eki up to the point to Nasustelia. Nasustelia to Flyer Kungan. Slap shot. Puck loose in front. Bennu made the initial save, but still some more work to do as Eki controls it behind the net. Nice poke check, however, there from Tombu as he gets control of possession and will slowly tiptoe his way into the neutral zone. Right to find Vatu down the middle, but a nice poke check there from Straikers as here comes Eki, shot on. Ooh, a juicy rebound, but nobody there for it. Nice job from Bakari, scooping that up, not allowing a second chance. Also has to be bumped off of that puck, and here comes Tunnel Vision, and they have numbers. Yerska to Vatu. Vatu holds it and gives it up to Tombu, forcing Tunnel Vision to reset and cycle. Nice job there on the back check from Straikers. The shot on, saved by Hansaninho, and he'll hold on for stoppage. Fast-paced back-and-forth action here in the first few minutes of this first period. 5 minutes in. Very well see our first goal early. Alonso has it in the defensive zone for Straikers. Skates it past the red line and into the offensive zone. Tried to put on a one-touch deke, but to no avail as Tunnel Vision forces the turnover. He tried to skate that in, but nothing available to him. Here comes Eki now in the offensive zone. Dumps it down low. Now up to Puanto at the point. Flyer Kungan shot on from the high point, blocked in front. And here comes Tunnel Vision, a 3-on-2. Pikari. Oh, what a shot there from Yerska that was saved by Hansalino. A rip of a one-timer. Tunnel Vision still in control. Vanger at the point. Now the Tombu at the point. To Yerska at the left board. Shot on. Save made by Hansalino. Puck loose in front. Vatu trying to get it. But a nice job from Puanto winning that puck battle. But how about that save from Hansalino? The quick reaction time and the puck tracking is what made that play a great pass over to Yerska, who has that 1T ability on, I believe, at that left side, so a very difficult chance to stop. Hansalino, one of the best goalies in Europe for a long time for a reason. It showed why right there. Rikers controls it in the defensive zone as Tempton rings it around to Nasustelia. Finds Eki in the neutral zone. Now back to Nasustelia, who gives it to Tempton as Striker's going to reset. Didn't like what they saw. Kungan taking his time, past the red line, gives it up to Eki in the middle of the slot, but nothing there for him, and now Vatu controls it. Picardi had it at the right boards, but was bumped off of that puck. Nasustelia now skating it past the blue line, took a big hit there as he crossed, and now here comes Tunnel Vision on the counterattack. Yerska holds it, finds his way to Pikari, puck loose, but found the Tombu. Now to Vanger. Vanger skates in, stops at the right corner board, tries to get a shot on, but a nice poke check there made by Puanzo. Puck goes all the way back into the Strikers' defensive zone, and they'll have to reset things. Puanzo holds it. Tried to pass it back over to Nasustelia, but a pick made by the Tunnel Vision defender. 4 minutes to play here in the first period. Still looking for our first score, but very even for the most part here so far. Both teams have had a couple of chances. Tunnel Vision with the best chance of the day so far on that one-time attempt over to Yerska. Strikers in the offensive zone. Nasustelia at the point. Now to Flyer Kungan. Flyer Kungan dumps it down low. Eki with it now. Tried to pass in front. Puck loose over on the right post. Bennu trying to find it. He does. And will hold on and freeze it. So 2:08 to play. An offensive zone faceoff coming up here for Strikers. Will be to the right of Bennu. Won by Striker. Shot on from Flyer Kunga from the point. Saved by Bennu. And here comes Tunnel Vision on the opposite end. Vatu controls it. He's bumped off of that puck, and Eki will pick it up for Strikers. A minute to play here in the first period. Flyer Kungan over in the corner board. Gates it down. Finds Tempinen. Down to Nasustelia. Nasustelia shot off from the point. Looked like a tipped attempt there, but couldn't get all of it. Bennu was easily able to make the pad save. 5 seconds. Last gasp here for Tunnel Vision here in this period. Not able to get anything, as that will do it for the opening 20-minute scoreless between these two sides. As Strikers and Tunnel Vision, a battle of two of the top teams in Elite Division, going head-to-head here for their second game of this 2-game series. Remember to stick with us after this. We will have Renascor facing off against Purification for our third and fourth games of this broadcast. Purification still thickly in the playoff race, currently on the outside looking in, could really use 6 points to help their cause, while for Renascor, currently in the relegation series zone, trying to get themselves into that 9 through 11 position to avoid that, or excuse me, 9 through 12 position to avoid that relegation series fate. As we take another look at that one-timer that was saved by Hansalino, and wow, a matter of inches, just able to get that right toe on that shot of Yerska. It looked primed to be a goal. Oh, that was a close chance there too. Bennu able to just get a piece of that. I mean, it literally tiptoed the top of the red line a few more inches, and it's a 1-0 Strikers lead, but nevertheless, We're tied at 0, looking for our first goal of the game as we are back underway here for period number 2. Zeki controls it and turned it over almost immediately as Tunnel Vision has numbers, a 3-on-2. Picardi passes across, tried to hit Yurska, but he can't control it. He does get it back, however. Vanger at the high right face-off circle, shot on, save made from Hassalinho as puck battled for and picked up by Yurska for Tunnel Vision. Batu to Tambu at the left point. Tambu looking, trying to find options, but didn't have anything. Is that puck going to be circled around and found to Eki? Now to Tepinen. 2-on-3. Tepinen looking for a shot. Bunt from behind there. Nice defensive play made by Vatu. Tambu controls it and will give it up to Vanger. A little bit of pressure being applied here from Straikers. A nice forecheck to cause a little bit of trouble here on the breakout of Tunnel Vision as it's turned over in the neutral zone. Arkugan had it, but he turned it over, and now Tunnel Vision looking to counter. Poke checked away there as Tambu looked to skate it up, and the puck found by Puanzo. Puck loose in front, battled for, found its way all the way up to the left point, but it's picked up by Tunnel Vision, who will now look to counterattack as Tambu controls it and gives it up to Vanger, now to Vatu, but it's turned over. Nice job by Eki, picking that one away. Arkugan skates past the red line, now over to Eki, who gets it into the offensive zone. Eki holding it, tried to get that pass across, but was poked away, but found back to Nasustelia. Puanzo down to Eki, empty net now as it's a delayed penalty called against Tunnel Vision. So Straikers soon to go on the power play, barring a goal here, as Tunnel Vision will touch up on that puck, and that will put Straikers on the power play. We only saw them whiff the man advantage once, and that was with 25 seconds left in game number 1. They were already up 2-0 at that point, so not a true power play opportunity. So really the first time that we will see the Straikers team have a full 2-minute opportunity here with the man advantage. Face-off tied up and won by Straikers. Sustelia found his way over to Templeton. One-timer was blocked. Broken stick there by a defender, and a shot on score. Tapping on the one-timer. Gives Straikers the advantage, 1-0 here in the second period. A power play goal for the right winger of Straikers as you get another look at it right there. And I mentioned that broken stick as you wonder if maybe that potentially had something to do with that play. Is the original block shot in front by Vatu, he was the one that was in the middle of the slot defending in that one-timer. He didn't have a stick, couldn't get it blocked with his body. Tepinen able to beat Bennu, and a 1-0 advantage here for Straikers halfway through this game. And they may not be done as they control it in the offensive zone. Acting from behind, and a shot on save made by Bennu. Another chance there for Tepinen, but he couldn't hold on to it as Tambu will take control of it. Tunnel Vision looking for their first score of this series. They have been held scoreless for almost 100 minutes now so far in this series. They have yet to score. 92 minutes, the exact number without a goal here so far for Tunnel Vision. They hold in the offensive zone now. Vanger at the right point, gives it to Tambu next to him. Shot on, blocked in front. Puck loose behind the net and found by Vatu. Goes to Bakari, back to Vatu. Vatu holds it, looking for an option. He's pressured and goes up to the point of Vanger, who tries to hit Vatu back in the high slot, but it's turned over and picked off by Straikers. Arkungan gives it to Eki, who goes to Puanzo. Puanzo skates it in past the blue line. Finds Tempinen. Got the goal to break this one open on that one-timer as the puck goes all the way in the defensive zone of Straikers, and they'll have to reset. Asustelia tried to sauce that one up the right boards, but it'll be called an icing as no one able to get to it there past the red line. Take a quick look at the stats. Once again, rather even between these two teams. Strikers with the slight advantage of time on attack, but not by a lot. Less than a minute. It's off one in the defensive zone by Straikers. Now Sustelia holds it. So Papo's in its shot is a big save by Hanselino. A sneaky chance. Another one-timer save by Hanselino from the far left board. So hold on for the stoppage. That came out of nowhere right there. A turnover by Straikers in their own end led to a sneaky opportunity. Hanselino, luckily, Johnny on the spot. Another save with that right toe, just barely able to get his pad on that one. Tunnel Vision knocking on the door. Face-off one in the defensive zone by Straikers. They have had a heavy advantage there on the face-off dot today. Here comes Templeton in the offensive zone. Pass across and they score on it! Templeton with his second goal of the game. Tunnel vision going to call a timeout, as it looks like we're going to get a look at how that one went in. As Templeton looks like he was trying to go for the pass across over to Eki, who is the gold helmet wearer for this team, but instead of passing it across, hits in off of Bennu. Not sure if it hit off of the skate, the stick, or the pad, but nevertheless banked in off of the goaltender. Templeton with his second goal of the game. His 23rd goal of the season. And Straikers, a little deja vu from the first game, a 2-0 lead here late in the second period. Tunnel vision going to have to try to coordinate a response. 2:40 remaining here in period number 2. As Straikers win the tie-up face-off in the neutral zone. It's turned over, however. Vatu gets in the offensive zone. Turns, tries to get that pass up to Tombu at the point, but it was stolen away by Straikers. As now Sostelia tried to skate into the offensive zone, but it's called offsides. .94 seconds remaining here in period number 2. Face-off one on the tie-up by Eki. Bakari, however, gets it. He had it just for a second in the offensive zone, but it turned over. Here comes Templeton now on the pass from Eki in the offensive zone. Down to Nasustelia. Pushing up there from that lefty spot is a shot on the wraparound attempt. Easy save by Bennu. 5 seconds ago, tunnel vision trying to get one more chance here before the end of the period. Tombu over on the slapper. Another chance to pass across. Puck loose in front. Not able to get another chance there as Vanger on that slap shot gave his tunnel vision squad a couple of chances on those second opportunities, but none of them able to find their way to Hatsalino, and that will do it for period number 2. A 2-0 advantage, and this was what gave them that 2-0 advantage, and really didn't hit off of Bennu as much as I thought. Would have liked to have maybe seen that puck hit off his stick a little bit more, considering that he looked to be rather in position, but went through the 5-hole of Bennu rather cleanly there, so a little bit of an unorthodox play, but nevertheless, Templeton picks his spot, puts it through, and gives Straikers that 2-goal advantage heading into the third period here. As you look at the stats, Straikers with slight advantages in the shots and time and attack departments, 8-6 in their favor, and 5 minutes and 6 seconds compared to 4 minutes and 16 seconds. So really, it's not a big discrepancy between these two sides, just a matter of the opportunities that have been taken advantage of. And once again, some big saves from Hansalinho. You cannot go without mentioning his name. He made 2 massive saves that look near impossible to make. This game could easily be 2-2 if not for his efforts back there. Robbed Templeton on a pair of opportunities. So we are underway here for the third period. Tunnel vision looking to mark the comeback. Straikers looking to sweep the season series here. One game number 1, 2-0. That is what they lead by here in the second contest. As Tunnel vision controls an offensive zone, one-timer from Templeton goes wide. Hansalinho ends up finding it and will hold on for the freeze. Face off to the right of Hansalinho, left side of our screen. Looking at the perspective of Tunnel vision here. Face off won by Straikers in the defensive zone, but they turn it over in the neutral. As Tunnel vision gets it back in past the blue line. Tombu shot on, puck loose nearly, but Hansalinho was able to get a grasp of it and will once again hold on for the stoppage. Tunnel vision starting to get a couple of opportunities here, a few shots on net. Still looking to break through. 103 minutes without a goal. They've yet to score in this series. As once again, Straikers able to get that defensive zone face-off win. It's Templeton backhand and they score! A quick pass play for Straikers puts them on the board yet again. A hat-trick for Templeton and a 3-goal lead over Tunnel vision for his squad. As Straikers strike quickly there on the counterattack after the defensive zone faceoff, and you just see that quick pass there from Puanso over to Tempinen. Tempinen able to beat Bennu on that backhand. Looked like Bennu almost got in position, but just was not able to get to that left side post quick enough. And Straikers now with a rather comfortable lead here over Tunnel Vision, 3-0 with 16.5 to go here in the regulation period. We'll see here if Tunnel Vision can try to find their way back, but a delayed penalty not going to help their cause. A power play upcoming for Straikers. This is an interference call. Well, power play upcoming for Straikers. They scored on their one power play earlier today. Face off, tied up. Found its way to Straikers. Shot on, save made by Bennu. Wenger has it, will just slap this one away. Finds way to Vatu, breakaway opportunity. Vatu forehand, and they score! Tunnel Vision breaks the scoreless drought, and they get it on a short-handed goal. Vatu gets Tunnel Vision on the board, and just like that, we've got a game once again. As you get a look at it there, that slap shot there from Wenger just able to find its way over to Vatu. A nice little move there to beat Nasustelia, the defender. Gives himself that extra space to create that breakaway chance. Hanselinos, who's been just stunning so far in this game. Tunnel Vision finally able to crack the code that he has been. 3-1 now, Straikers. It's here they come on the counterattack. They do still have that man advantage as Vatu has it and gives it over to Wenger. Wenger goes back to Picari as it was poked away. Picari low on energy here. That's going to force Tunnel Vision to just dump this one away to try to get some stamina back. Straikers past the blue line in the offensive zone. Puanso shot on, swept away there by Bennu, but here comes Flyer Coogan with possession back. Puanso controls it, gives it back down low to Eki behind the net. Back to 5-on-5. There's a wraparound and they score! Eki puts it through past Benna. And Straikers back to a 3-goal lead. He wears the gold helmet for a reason that signifies the top points getter for each respective team, and Eki shows why they're on that play, his 14th goal of the season. And a massive one there for Straikers, right when you thought Tunnel Vision was maybe starting to get a little bit of momentum on their side. Straikers come right back and punch back. Tunnel Vision looking to get it back here. A little over 12 minutes to play. Tempinen controls it here for Straikers. Turned over as Jurska has it, trying to work his way past the Straikers defense, but not able to do so. Eki controls it, gets it past the blue line into the offensive zone. Holds it, looking for an option. Waits, goes in front, tries to pass in front, pops loose, and it bounces in! Flyer Coogan was the last to touch it, he'll get credit for the goal, and Straikers opening this game up all of a sudden, a 5-1 lead, pulling away from Tunnel Vision. A bit of a fortunate bounce there, but they don't care. They got another one on the board, and they are in firm control of this one. A 4-goal lead with 10.5 to play. Zaki looking for more, skates in, backhand, was poked from behind there. Nice defensive play there made by Picardi. Puanso controls it in the neutral zone. Gives it to Tempinen. Now to Eki. Eki dumps it down low, finds his way to Puanso behind the net. Now to Flyer Coogan at the point. Shot on. Save made, another shot on. Another save made by Bennu. He's going to go ahead and play this out. Finds the way to Straikers as full pressure now activated for Straikers. And an offside is going to be called as it looks like an injury there for Tombu as he took a massive hit over on the boards during that sequence. So the left defenseman for Tunnel Vision going to be a little bit hindered here over the next few minutes. Something to look out for. Face off in the left side of the neutral zone. It's being thrown around like no one's business here in this game. 26 for Tunnel Vision, 23 for Straikers, as another offsides call after the faceoff win from Straikers. Full pressure is still activated for them here right now. See the shot advantage for Straikers, 14-8. Zeki has in the neutral zone, gives it to Tempinen. Full pressure still activated. Puanzo down low, back up to the point that Nasustelia tried to pass it across. Looked like they were setting up that one-time play for Tempinen, but he couldn't hit him. Puck loose as an offside is called. 6.5 to play. Straikers looking well on their way to a sweep here in this series. A 5-1 lead in this one. If you're just now joining us, they beat Tunnel Vision 2-0 in game number 1. And we'll have more elite action here in this one as we'll get ready for Renascor versus Purification at the conclusion of this series. Ambu gives it to Vanger. Now to Picari, who will just dump this into the offensive zone, but it finds its way to Flower Kungan immediately. As now Sustelia spins by his own net, pass across on the run to what a save! Joselito robbed him with the glove! And he'll hold on for a stoppage, but what a play, Joselito! He looked like an outfielder on that one. Outreaches the glove to steal a goal from Tunnel Vision. Faced off one in the defensive zone by Straikers. 2-on-2. Puan still trying to drive his way to the middle of the ice, but couldn't. Aki gets a tap, but in with a one-timer. Save made by Bennu. Tunnel Vision looking to avert danger, and they do. Vatu now skates in the offensive zone. Yurska down low to Vatu. Vatu behind the net, stops, tries to get it back in front, but nothing there. As Nasustelia controls a shot on from Vatu after a quick turnover. Saved by Hantalino, and he'll play this out. Feeling himself after these big saves he has made. Just one goal allowed so far throughout these two games. Tempinen skates it in, tried to get something, but could not find anything down the middle. Nice defense there played by Tunnel Vision. Vatu controls it, skates in, behind the net, and a pass off of Osorlino and in. Very similar almost to the third goal from Straikers, as Vatu will get credited with the goal. Now, we'll take a look at this one here. Looked like he was trying to pass that one across and it just hit off of someone and in. I believe that hit off of the back skate of Hantalino, but it could have potentially hit off of a Strikers defender as well. You have to get a closer look at it, slow down, but nevertheless, Tunnel Vision gets on the board for the second time in this one, a 2-5 score now, with just 30 seconds remaining. Striker is in control, still going to win this one, but nevertheless, Tunnel Vision making things look a little bit better than what they were here in the final score. Tombu has in the neutral zone, finds Yerska, shot on from a far, far distance in the neutral zone, saved by Hantalino, 10 seconds remaining. Dump out a 2-on-0 here. Puanzo has it. Puanzo goes around the net, trying to get a wraparound, but Bennu, Johnny on the spot, made the save, as that will do it. Tunnel Vision wants no more of it. A 5-2 victory for Straikers over Tunnel Vision. Obviously, Tunnel Vision very frustrated with the result, understandably so. Straikers sweep the season series. They collect all 6 points. Massive for them. They now hold the #1 spot in the Elite Division standings. Obviously, Value Quids and Esports do have 2 games in hand, but nevertheless, Straikers well positioned to get a top 2 finish here in the Elite Division, while for Tunnel Vision, very disappointing result for them. You would expect that more than likely these 2 teams are going to be rather close, but Tunnel Vision just weren't really on their game, it felt like, in this one, unfortunately. They came in pretty decent form, 6-3-1 in their last 10 games, but just didn't have it here in this one. The defensive struggles that we talked about showed themselves a little bit at certain times, and the offense was not able to do enough to make up for it. So a pointless affair for Tunnel Vision. They remain 5th in the standings. Not used to seeing that here from this Tunnel Vision side that has been to multiple finals now in the last few seasons and have really emerged as one of the top teams, not just in Europe, but arguably throughout the globe as well. But as Strikers day to day, a 5-2 victory in game number 2 after a 2-0 victory in game number 1. All 6 points collected for Strikers over Tunnel Vision. We're going to take a quick break here, but after this, we are going to set the stage for our next series between Purification and Renascor. Purification still thickly in the playoff race, but need to collect points. Renascor trying to avoid relegation And the relegation series really could use some points. A rematch of the ECL Pro semifinals that went to 7 games last season. These two teams know each other well. They're both very good. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're not going to want to miss it. So we will be right back after the break. Don't go away.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
Seamus and I partnered up with Advil to help optimize your PC game settings to help prevent headaches and let you play your favorite games at your best.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
We are back. Thank you for being patient with us, and thank you to Exit and Unwanted for the little bit of bonus coverage, keeping us entertained as we waited for Purification and Renascor to get things set up. As let's take a preview here of this series. Once again, Purification still thickly in the playoff hunt, a little bit on the outside looking in, but still mathematically alive in a path for themselves to get into the top 8, while for Renascor at that 15th spot right now, currently in the relegation series zone. It's going to take some work for them to get on the positive side of that. As we mentioned, they'd have to pass Goons at 34 points. They have 27 games played. Potentially there's a game that's not in there, but assuming that things are the way they are right now, they would have to win all of the rest of their games in regulation, and they would also have to have tiebreaker on their side as well. So Renascor maybe kind of stuck in that relegation series zone, to be completely honest. We'll have to kind of wait and see how the results continue to unfold. However, you still have Gotham Knights right behind them, who has 25 points, currently the same amount as Renascor. And if Gotham Knights win that last game of the season, Renascor would be in the last position in the standings, meaning that they would be relegated automatically down to the Pro Division level. So Renascor need to try to collect some points here, while once again, you kind of look at where Purification are, 26 games played, 36 points. We just saw X and Unwanted playing. Those are the two teams that they mathematically could still pass. Exon was winning that game 3-2 late in the third period. I'm not sure if there has been a change since then, but if that score stays the same, Purification could very well tie Unwanted in points. So massive games here for really both of these two sides, but for different reasons. And let's take a quick look at the team matchup just to kind of see how these two have done so far here this season. And you just kind of get a quick look at it. Really, the offense for Purification a little bit better than what it has been so far for Renascor. Not by a wild amount, but nevertheless, just a little bit better. And for Purification, I think the biggest thing for them has just been balance. They've pretty much averaged the same goals for per game that they have goals against. 2.33 goals for per game, 2.38 against. So they've been about as even and as balanced as you could possibly ask. While for Renascor, the offense so far this season just has not been there for them. Lowest goals for per game out of any team in the ECL Elite Division at a 1.62. They also have one of the highest goals allowed so far this season, currently not horrible, but in 10th, so not great either. But nevertheless, Purification with a chance to maybe bump that offense up a little bit here. If they could put themselves in a very, very good position, as we'll take a quick look at the starting lineups here for both of these two sides. As we have them on the screen here, we'll start out with Purification on your left side. The forward trio, Laxton at left wing, Vilpiuna at center, and Rubitus at right wing, while the defensive pair will be Zupe and Bystrom, your new SCL 2024 1v1 champion. So congratulations to Bystrom on coming in with a championship crown. He'll be filling out that right D spot with Zupe on his left, while in between the pipes will be Scumbu at goalie. And for Renascor, it'll be Krikes at left wing, Verduzaktiv at center, and Firecats at right wing to make up the 3-4 trio. While back at defense, it'll be Motzi at left wing and Nimich at right D. And in between the pipes and net, it'll be Hull at the goaltender spot. Take a look at the positional matchups here. We'll start out with the centers, Vilpiuna and Verduzaktiv, and pretty even in terms of the points and in terms of the face-off percentage, but the games played, a bigger discrepancy. Verduzaktiv, 23 points in the 27 games he has played. He has been a playmaker for this Renascor team so far. 17 assists out of the 23 points that he has had so far this season. So if you're looking for someone that's really going to have an emphasis on kind of controlling the play and setting up his teammates. Very active, the leading assist man for this Renascor side, going to be the one to do that, while Filip Yuna, he's been good so far in limited action. 18 points in the 16 games he's played, 12 goals as well. Face-off battle going to be interesting since both of them are well below 50%, but nevertheless, both of these guys have contributed in different ways. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch them go head-to-head. Let's transition over now to the wingers, and we see so often where the wingers make such an impact on the scoring side of things. This one should be no different, as you see Laxton, 20 goals in the 26 games he has played, leads all Purification players in goals scored so far, 109 shots as well. So he's going to be a guy that you will see shoot the puck a lot here in this one. Don't be surprised if we call his name often in the offensive end. Krik's going to be interesting as well. He has played just one game so far this season. Does have one goal for his 1 point in that game, but nevertheless, a newer player in the lineup. Should be interesting to see how he meshes with his fellow winger in Firecats. 13 goals so far this season, 23 points in 27 games played. Also has been laying the body around, 193 hits so far for him this season. Expect him to be a very physical presence over on that right wing boards. Now we'll go over to the defensive side of things. These guys are going to have to step up huge here in this series, especially for Purification, knowing what is on the line. As all of these guys have been pretty solid, but really we're seeing a couple of point getters. Matsi for Renascor, 24 points in 27 games played. Zupe with 23 points in 26 games played. Matsi, 9 goals from that lefty spot as well, so he's proven to be able to really put the puck in the net. Nijmets and Bystrom have both been able to get some points here and there, but have been more on the defensive side of things where they have really made their impact known. 209 hits so far for Nijmets this season, while on the other side, Bystrom, 34 shots blocked in his 26 games playing. Going to be interesting to see how they can impact things, especially for Purification, playing a Renascor offense that has really struggled with that low goals for per game, 1.6 lowest in the elite division. And last but not least, the goaltenders. We saw in our last series how goaltending could really step up with Hasselino stepping up and helping Straikers secure 2 victories. Well, both of these guys, plenty capable of doing that. An 84.2 compared to an 84.4, a 2.38 compared to a 2.40. Both of them with 3 shutouts. Only one more game played for Scumbu compared to Hull. These two are as even as it gets. No question about it. Both of them have been amazing all year. We will be having to look out for them to see how they can step up and maybe separate each other a little bit here in this one. So just kind of goes to show you, Renascor maybe a little bit lower in the standings, but goaltending has not been the reason why. And Purification, Scumbu coming up with Purification from the Pro Division has been outstanding here so far this season. Going to be so fun to watch these guys go head to head, as we are just a few moments away from puck drop in game number 1. We will bring you back into the studio. Brandon B. Major Bigsby with you as we have Purification versus Renascor on what is the second to last day of the regular season. As once again, Purification in their first season here in the Elite Division came up from the Pro Division last season. These two teams met in the Pro Division semifinals. Both of these two promoted for the first time. Renascor won that series in 7 games. It took a overtime from to bring home the victory. They were able to get it past Purification, but Purification adjusting better so far in the Elite Division compared to Renascor. Renascor just trying to keep themselves in this division here. Could do themselves some favors here by coming home with some points here in this series. Don't forget, we will also have coverage here of Elite Division action tomorrow, as it will be the last day of the regular season. But if you want more ECL action, maybe not necessarily on the 6v6 sides, and you want to maybe participate yourself, we've got 1v1 action here coming up. The spring sign-ups for the ECL 24 Spring ECL 1v1 are now open. Just go to sportsgamer.gg for more information or to sign up. As I mentioned, we have a SCL 1v1 champion playing here in the lineup in Bystrom for Purification. Hey, if you want to participate, maybe match up against some of the best like him, make sure to go to sportsgamer.gg to sign up for our 1v1 tournament for the spring season. I was fortunate enough to call that during the winter season, finals and semifinals. I'm telling you, the competition is amazing. If you're in Europe and you want to participate, highly recommend. Make sure to go to sportsgamer.gg to sign up and to find more information on that. As we are just a few moments away here from puck drop, just waiting for both teams to get matched up here in the lobbies. As once again, Purification, so much on the line here. I'm not sure what the final score was for that Unwanted Exon matchup, as we did just get confirmation 3-2 for Exon. So massive development there as we do get a look at the standings. As a big shout out to Rye Guy, who's been doing an amazing job all day on the production. Johnny on the spot with that one. These are the updated standings. Purification 12 points behind that unwanted spot. In unwanted, it is wanted, but it's unwanted who holds the spot at number 6. So really, the team that they are going to have to try to gun down is the Blackjacks. And the only way they're going to be able to catch the Blackjacks, they have 4 games. They need to get at least 11 points in those 4 games. I'm not sure if they would have the tiebreaker or not, but you're looking at 11 out of a possible 12 points. So they cannot take a single regulation loss for the rest of the way if they want to get themselves into the playoffs. As Exon has seemingly clinched, Unwanted has seemingly clinched, it's going to be the Blackjacks at that number 8 spot that will be who Purification are gunning down. It's really the only way they can pass them. Technically, Vesapampa could maybe try to squeak their way in there, but they would have to win out. They would have to win out all through regulation, and it's just not the most likely thing in the world. But we've seen crazier things happen. We'll see how it goes, and it looks like Gotham Knights do not have that last game in yet, so we're not sure how things look for Renascor. However, Renascor do have another game in. They are now a win up compared to what they were before, so 28 points for them. Still not going to be able to make it into that top 12, so unfortunately, Renascor are going to be in the relegation series really no matter what, but it does affect seeding for relegation series depending on what team they play. That 15th seed would play the loser of the ECL Pro Final, while Goons and Haimu, where they are now, they would currently be playing the 2 losers of the ECL Pro semifinalists. So obviously, you would rather play a semifinalist than a finalist. Renascor still with plenty on the line here. We'll see if they can maybe grab some points from Purification, who once again need to secure at the bare minimum 10 points, probably 11 to pass the Blackjacks clearly. We're not sure how the tiebreaker would go. So to be safe, it would need 11. You would need 10 to tie them. That means you need more than likely 2 wins in regulation here versus Renascor. Let's see if they can get the job done. As the 2 teams have matched, we have the opening face-off underway. We are looking at the perspective of Purification as we are underway here between these 2 sides. As controlling it right now is Purification in their own zone, as Rubitus had it for just a second but couldn't hold on to it. Shot on. Save looks like it was made there by Hull as Robitus has and gives over to Zupe. Zupe drives in, shot on, goes wide. Crikes controls it and gives it up to Hellcats, but it finds its way back to Crikes. Crikes losses, he passed the blue line, but gets it back in the neutral zone. Pressured by Purification. Nice job there from Robitus to get that back. In the offensive zone now is Purification. Laxon holding on to it, but bumped off for that puck by Nimich, and now he'll control it here for Renascor. Had to pass it through the middle, but a little bit too strong as Rubitus gets it back, but turns it over. Motzi was there at the point waiting on that pass. Shot on, one-time save made by Scumboo. Here comes Purification on the counter, 3-on-2. Zupe holding it, finds Laxon, glove, save made on the shot. Hull makes the play, and he'll hold on for the stoppage. We talked about the spectacular goaltending battle that we have between Scumboo and Hull. Both of them have made key critical saves here early. Purification shot on. One-timer from Laxon, saved by Hull again. Ruzak that had it for just a second, but Zupe picks it off. Zupe gives it up to Laxon. Out of Bystrom, as Bystrom just a step ahead there, and they'll be called offside. 13:21 to play here is pretty even affair here so far early. Face-off will be in the neutral zone. Tied up. Battled for and won by Laxon as a big hit put on. As it looks like Laxon is injured, and you see it there, struggling to get a good stride there at the skating, so something to keep an eye on there for Purification. Nimish controls the breakout. Feeds over to Matzi, his fellow defender, but loses possession. And now here comes Laxton on the other end. You saw that lack of speed impacted him there. Both forwards were about a stride ahead of him, just couldn't get that same boost that he would have had otherwise if he were healthy. Tuss crossed the past the blue line for a moment, but couldn't hold on to it as Renascor now in control. Chopped down low, given chase, and found by Lax for Purification, who no longer is injured. But Tuss has it. Stops in the right boards, feeds it down low to Zupe. Zupe up front to Vilpiuna, but couldn't find him in stride. As here comes Naimic on the other end for Renascor. Shot on, puck loose in front. Gumbu finds it and will hold on for a stoppage with 8:24 to play in period number 1. Very back and forth affairs so far between these two sides. Similar feel to what we saw in the first 2 games between Straikers and Tunnel Vision. If you're just now joining us, Straikers won both of those games, 2-0 in game 1, 5-2 in game number 2. Take first place as of now in the standings. Face off on the offensive zone by Renascor. Matzi will just feed that down low. Nobody home for it to get it for Renascor as here comes Purification on the counter. Is a big hit on Laxton. And here comes Naimic. He has a breakaway. Forehand shot saved by Scumbu. And he'll hold on to freeze it. Scumbu once again steps up and makes a big time save for Purification. Get a look at the big hit there on the blue line. Renascor, they've been throwing the body around here so far in the early. Face off in Renascor's offensive zone. It'll be to the right side of Scumbu as we'll get a quick pause. Looks like that's Renascor, and it's going to take a pause here really quickly. And maybe we had somebody drop here, so we're going to have to come back into the studio here as Renascor and Purification tied at 0. Looks like we had somebody maybe drop out, so they will, looks like we had somebody drop out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break here as we get things reset. 0-0 still your score here late in the first period. We will be right back here after a short break. Do not go away. Rest of the action for game 1 right after this.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile.
Thank you for sticking with us. We have gotten things back underway as Thank you for sticking with us. We are back underway as it looks like these two teams have decided just go ahead and restart everything from the top. So everything that you saw in that first 13 minutes, you didn't see it. It didn't happen. We're going to go ahead and start straight from the top. So this is the first period, 19 minutes to go here. Opening minute as Purification face off against Renascor. As Byström had it there for just a second, couldn't hold on. Puck battle forward down low, and it finds its way to Purification. Now the Renascor. Monty has a pass across. Could not find his man. Zupe doing a nice job picking that one away. Takes it in past the blue line into the offensive zone as Laxon gets it. Now down to Rubitus. Rubitus up to the point. Now back to Laxon at the left boards, who goes down low, takes a big hit there from Nymich. Puck battled in front, finds his way back to Laxon, who gets it again. Poke checked away, and it goes all the way back into the defensive zone. Purification and Renascor both give chase to it. Way to Purification as Zupe gets it, takes a big hit there in the neutral zone. As the puck is loose and finds his way to Robitus in the offensive zone of Purification, but then he takes a big hit. Bodies flying all over the place and hitting the floor. Zupe has it. Poke checked away, found its way to Vilpiuna. Vilpiuna over to Laxon. Poke checked away there, and now the Firecats and now the Mati here for Renascor. The offensive zone. Trying to skate his way past the defender, but could not do so successfully as Byström passes it up over to Zupe and now up to Laxon at the left boards. Laxon holding, pass across in the middle over to Rubitus, but he couldn't get the shot off cleanly as Purification will now have to reset. Byström controlling it, your SCL 1v1 champion. Zupe has it. His defensive partner now down to Rubitus, back to Zupe. Zupe holding it back to Rubitus in front. Could have gotten that shot on there, but couldn't do so in time, so it was bumped off. Now Laxon to Byström over at the top right face-off circle. Skating his way to space, shot on. Pad save made there from Scumbu. Excuse me, from Hull. As here we go, breakaway fire, got saved by Scumbu! Hits off the right pad, made the breakaway save. We're still tied at 0. Purification looking for a response. Matsi has it. Didn't find much there as now Nymich gives it up to Virtus Active. Back to Nymich over at the left point. Shot on, goes wide. Another chance, shot on, score! Renascor get the opening goal of the game off of the rebound opportunity. Goes through the 5-hole of Scumbu. And it's Firecats who gets the scoring started. As you see, just that little rebound off of the board from that original shot on net, it went wide. Unfortunately, Scumbu got into a bit of a precarious position there with that animation. Not able to get up in time, left Firecats with an open cage to shoot on, and he was able to squeak it through. Renascor opened things up here 1-0 with just around 7 minutes to play here in the opening period. Purification tried to break into the offensive zone, but it's offside. A face-off won by Renascor. Zupe breaks into the offensive zone after the turnover, looking for some space, finds his way over to Robitus all of a sudden, but couldn't put it in as Virtus Active had it momentarily, but loses it. Purification swarming here down the offensive zone. Zupe at the high left point, tries to go down low at the left corner board and does so to Laxon, but he turns it over. Nice job there defensively there from Renascor to take away space. Monty trying to work his way through the middle. Couldn't find the space, however. Nice job there. Purification turning defense into offense. In the zone, Bystrom to Robitas, a crossover on the shot in the middle from Vilpiuna. It's saved by Hull. He'll hold on for the freeze. 3:25 to play here in period number 1. Purification with plenty of zone time, a couple of opportunities, but still trying to find the back of the net. Face off to the right side of Hull. Hull doesn't have to worry about much as Renascor able to get it out of the zone, now into the offensive zone. Crikes over to Monty behind them, tried to pass it to the point, but looks like Nijmich wasn't really ready for that positionally as he'll slap this up the boards. And now it'll be called an icing as Firecats not able to get control of that puck. So we'll go all the way back to the opposite end. Purification gonna get an offensive zone face-off here. Remember, Purification need at least 10 points to at least tie the Blackjacks for the last spot in the playoffs. That is the only available playoff spot, and that one-timer could potentially help them in their quest. Laxon on the one-timer, and he puts it in past Hull. We are tied at 1. As they get a closer look at it, that's just a beautifully set face-off play there. Not much you can do about that one as a goaltender. Wins the face-off, passes it over to the opposite side. Laxton was there for it. The leading goal scorer for Purification, his 21st of the season. Came in with 20 goals on 100 shots, so a 20% shooting percentage. That got bumped up a little higher on that one. Ties this game at 1 with a minute to play in the first period. Renascor trying to get their lead back. Big hit there on the boards, and here comes Purification on the counter. Robitus gives it up over to Laxon. Tried to pass that across over to the centerman in Vilpiuna, but he couldn't find him cleanly. 5 seconds left. Puck loose in the neutral zone, and it's brought past the blue line for offside. 3.2 seconds to play. Unlikely that either side gets a good chance here. Face-off was jumped. Purification maybe would have shot on potentially, but they tried passing it across. Time will expire, and that will end the opening 20 minutes. It took us a while to get there, but we are at the end of the first. A 1-1 score as Purification tie the game on that one-time play with just over 3 minutes left in the first after Renascor got the scoring started with a goal from Firecats. So the two wingers, we talked about the wings being very important to the goal scoring for both these two teams, showing why here so far early. As we get a look at the stats here for both teams through that opening 20 minutes. 4-2 in favor of Purification in the shot battle. Renascor have had a little bit of zone time, but just haven't really been able to do a whole lot with it. Both sides have been pretty good defensively here so far. As you get a look at that first goal, just bounced off of the boards. Unfortunately for Scumbu, he just didn't have his goalie in a great position there with that animation. Not his fault, obviously, but was down on his hind and just could not get up in time. And then that one-time play that we've seen a couple of times there for Purification to tie this thing up. But nevertheless, it's a 1-1 score, and we are underway here for the second period as Purification currently have possession. Battling for it right now is Renascor as they get it on the turnover. Firecats battling hard there with Zupe as the puck goes in front. Hellcats with the shot. Save made by Scumbu. Purification needs to get it out, and they do here momentarily. Nijmich holds it. Turns it over, however, and here comes Rubitus. Rubitus has it. Gives it down a little to Bystrom, who's pinching up, trying to contribute a little bit offensively, and that leads to a potential odd man rush, but nice job defensively by Purification to get back to avoid it. Turned over, and Purification counters. Zupe over to Vilpiuna as a shot on going to be saved by Hull. It's off to the left side of Hull, right side of your screen. One in the defensive zone by Renascor. Nijmich to Matsi. Crosses the blue line, gives it back to Nijmegen at the point. Drops it down low. Finding it there was Firecats, but he couldn't hold on for long enough as Purification forces the turnover and looks to counter. 3-on-3. Passes the blue line. Rubitus has it, gives it down to Zupe. Zupe looking for space, looking for a passing option. Nothing so far. Tried to skate his way through the middle, but could not find it. He held that puck for a while, but finally poke checked away. Renascor now in the offensive zone. Turned over. Nice poke check there from Rubitus. Also had a couple of bumps to get him off of that. Zupe now skates it in. Down a little accent, wraparound attempt, save made there by Hull. Monty picks it up in the defensive zone and will now get it out of danger here for Renascor as a delayed penalty going to be called against Purification and a power play coming up here for Renascor. So a penalty going to be called on Vilpiuna. As you see the interference there in that battle in front of the net. And now Renascor are going to try to take their lead back here with the man advantage. Renascor so far 15.9% on the power play this season. Purification 81.58% on the PK. So both around league average. Renascor just a little bit under it. As they control it now in the offensive zone. Already 45 seconds gone in their power play yet to really get a dangerous opportunity as Purification doing a good job denying Renascor of establishing the offensive zone. 45 seconds left in the power play. Nijmegen speeds his way into the offensive zone, looking for space. Can't get that shot on clean. It's a 2-on-1 here for Purification. Rubitus has Laxton with a shot on. Pad save made and swept away by Hull, but Purification still with possession. 5 seconds on the Renascor power play as Vilpiuna will now come out of the box to make it 5-on-5 or 6v6 hockey. Goalies are people too. So we are halfway through this game, still tied at 1, as an offside is going to be called. Purification and able to get all their ducks in a row as they cross the blue line. Neutral zone face-off, tied up and won by Renascor, but turned over. Vilpiuna gets it, hit off of that puck immediately, however, as he crossed the blue line. Firecats gets in the offensive zone, pass to Bossy, pass across. Puck still over to Renascor. That one-timer from the point just went a little bit wide. Here comes Vilpiuna. Gives it up to Laxton, speeds his way past the blue line. A little spin move pass to no avail. And a 2-on-1 for Renascor. Nijmegen has it. One-time shot on the pass. Save made by Scumbu. He'll hold on for the whistle. But boy, a grand opportunity there for Renascor. They're just not able to put it in the back of the net. I believe that was Krikes that was with him. Face off, won by Renascor. Shot on, and they score! Firecats, his second of the game, got the shot on net, and it trickled his way in past the red line. And Renascor find their way back up in front, a 2-1 game here in the second period. As you get an up-close look at how that one went in, Firecats just puts that one on net. Scumbu again, a sprawling animation. The puck just kind of bounces its way in as it trickled in past that red line. Has to fully cross that red line to be counted as a goal. It just does so by a few inches. And just like that, Renascor back up in front, 2-1, 6:54 to play here in the second period. Both goals off of the stick of Firecats. His 14th and 15th goals of the season. As a kind of weird shot on, a spinning shot there. Saved by Scumbu, he'll hold on. Get a look at the big hit there on the zone entry from Purification a few plays ago. And now face a defensive zone faceoff. Tied up. Won by Virtus Active and Renascor. Firecast has it, shot on, puck loose in front. Scumbu finds it and will jump on that puck to freeze it. All of a sudden, Renascor is starting to find a bit of a groove here offensively, just putting pucks on net, trying to create chaos here. 8 shots in this second period alone, just 2 for Purification. Nazi controls it here for Renascor. Gets past the blue line, passes to Virus Active. Now down the Firecats. He found Virus Active in the slot, but he couldn't get the shot off in time. Dubé has it, turned over at the point. Kreitz got it for just a moment, but a nice back-checking job there from Purification. As a quick chance there from from Firecats was saved by Scumbu. Renascor still swarming. Shot on from Kreitz, hits off the glove and out of Scumbu. Full pressure here for Renascor. Rubitus has it. Purification needing to get it out of their own zone. Not able to do so. They get the puck back, however, and they do this time in the neutral zone. Filippiuna has it over at the left boards. Trying to find anything here to get a play, and he's hit off of that puck there, and Nijmec will pick it up. Tried to circle it around, but it finds its way to Bystrom, and it'll be called offsides. 33.7 seconds remaining. Renascor dominant here throughout this second period. Purification lacking answers here so far. Get a look at the time on attack. 3 minutes and 52 seconds for Renascor. It feels like 3 of those minutes have been all in this last 10-minute sequence. 20 seconds remaining. Renascor with it. Break into the offensive zone, but turn it over. 5 seconds now. Last chance here for Purification in the period. As Zupe has it at the point. Shot on. Goes wide. And that will do it for period number 2. A 2-1 lead for Renascor. As Firecats with the shot on, beat Scumbu and gives his Renascor team a 1-goal advantage heading into the final frame. Let's get one more look there at that goal. See, it just kind of gives its way past that red line just barely. Renascor get rewarded for their offensive efforts in that second period, and we talked about the offense for Renascor has really been where they have struggled here so far this season, averaging the lowest goals for per game of any team in the Elite Division, 1.61. Their goals against average, though not great, is not bad either. They're just outside of the top half of the league in that category. They're in 10th, but nevertheless, there's teams that are in the playoffs that have a higher goals against average than them. Just, unfortunately, the scoring has not been there to kind of help supplement that, and it has them where they are this season. But in this game, they found some good offense, and they find themselves up by 1. And once again, for Purification, this is a massive, massive game. They need to get at least 10 points to at least tie the Blackjacks for that last spot. The tiebreaker would take over from there. A regulation loss of any kind would clinch the Blackjacks into the playoffs. Purification control it right now with Zupe. Passed it up over the left winger of Laxon, but it was offside. So a lot of teams watching this very, very closely. The Blackjacks watching closely, I'm sure. A few teams ahead of Purification watching closely, and Polsky Boys and Roots, although they are where they are, confirmed more than likely to be in no man's land. So here comes Renascor on the offensive end. Active had it, but couldn't get that pass across, but Renascor gets it back. Shot on from the high slot. Active with a sneaky one, but a glove save made by Scumbu. He'll hold on to freeze it. Once again, Renascor swarming on the offensive end. Purification just not really able to establish much zone time. The defense of Renascor giving them some fits here. I'm saving the game there made by Scumbu on that shot. Here comes Robitus trying to find something, but once again, Renascor steps up and makes a defensive play. The poke check there from Matzi, who now controls it in the neutral zone. Gates his way past a few defenders, gives it over to Kreitz. Now a one-time shot there from Firecats, just goes wide. 2-1 score here in the third period. Renascor leads by 1. We had the lag out earlier, but neither side scored. They decided to just go ahead and replay it from that point forward. Score and time that you see on your screen is accurate to the actual game. Offensive zone face-off for Renascor. 1 timer made the save there to Scumbu as the one-time shot by, I believe that was Firecats once again. He just didn't get all of it. timeout going to be called by Purification, who you can see in the stats just really struggling to get much of anything going. They have been outshot mightily ever since that first period. Really, the time of attack in favor of Purification too, 6 minutes and 4 seconds, so you wonder if that maybe changes the philosophy offensively here for Purification, maybe valuing volume rather than quality chances as they just want to try to get something going. You've seen both goals for Renascor have just been putting the puck on net, getting a bit of a bounce to go their way, and Purification, knowing what is on the line, you cannot lose in regulation. An overtime loss could significantly damage their chances. It would cause them to have to win all of their games in regulation the rest of the way to even have a tie with the Blackjacks. As here comes Renascor on the other end. Nice defensive play made there on the back check of Purification. Trying to respond here, but once again stifled right as they cross that blue line. Renascor all over Purification. Bystrom gives it over to Zupe, who gives it back over to Bystrom. Tried to hit the right winger of Rubitus, but he could not hit him. It was stolen by a defender, but the puck will go all the way opposite end. It will lead to an icing and an offensive zone faceoff for Purification. Take a look at another big hit from Renascor. You saw the stat a little bit earlier. They have doubled Purification in hits, over 30 hits in this game. So far for this Renascor side, they have laid the body in this one as the offensive zone faceoff won by Purification. Oh, a turnover there. Pass went a little bit awry back to the defenders. It will cause a reset and a turnover in the neutral zone. Active has it. Bumped off of that puck from behind, and Purification now gains possession again. Zupe to Filipiuna. Back to Zupe now as the puck was loose and he gets Rubitus pass across. Nice pick off there from Firecats. Defense from Renascor stepping up once again. Monty breaks it in past the blue line, but it's turned over as he's hit up at the boards. Tuss gets it. Lost it momentarily, but regained possession. Pass to Zupe at the left side. Zupe stops and gives it down low to Laxon. Pass to Vilpeuna. Shot on. Didn't really get all of Hull as it hit the side of the cages. Here comes Renascor on an odd-man rush. Couldn't do much with it. Zupe gets possession here as we approach the 6-minute mark. Purification running out of time. Remember, a regulation loss for Purification eliminates them from playoff contention and clinches the Blackjacks. It would give us all 8 playoff teams, as the Blackjacks are the only team to not clinch. They currently hold the 8th spot. They have played all 30 games. So Purification, the last team that could get in. It's a shot on potentially there. Did not find its way to the stick of Firecats, as here comes Purification on the other end. Rubitus has it, pass across over to Zupe, shot on, goes out of play and over to glass. 5:09 remaining, Purification still searching for answers. Face off to the left side, one in the defensive zone by Renascor. Finds Firecats on that slap pass play. Gives up to Active, now to Nymitch at the point. Nymitch skates in, shot on, loose, finds Firecats behind the net. Pressured and gives it back over to Crikes over at that opposite side. Haven't called Crikes' name too much today. That's a shot on, save made, blocker side by Hull, but a penalty going to be called against Renascor. Active, the centerman, going to the box, and the best chance of the period by far for Purification right here on this power play. As I do want to thank McSaven in the chat, as Vesapampa do have a chance actually to get in if they win each of their last 4 games in regulation. So a tall order, but Vesapampa still mathematically alive as well. Hoping that Renascor can hold on here to this victory to eliminate one of their competitors for that last playoff spot. Purification trying to keep that from happening. Zupe holds it at the point. Holding it. Skates it at the left face-off circle. Tried to pass it back to the point, but a nice pick off there from Crikes. 30 seconds left on the power play. No shots on for Purification. You got to put that puck on net with this situation. They haven't done so, and it's dumped away by Renascor. 10 seconds now on the man advantage. Here's Active about to come out of the box. Purification gets past the blue line. Holding it right now is Laxon. Shot on. Pad save made there. Now is Zupe to put that on net. It's dumped away, and an icing going to be called as we're back to 5-on-5 or 6v6. Now the question for Purification, do they pull the goalie? You cannot lose in regulation. If you do, your season is over, so you have to wonder if maybe that's a conversation right now. We'll see what they do. Gumbu will remain in his crease. 5-on-5 action, 27.3 seconds to play. Massive face-off won by Purification. Zupe with it, tried to pass it across, but it was picked off two defenders between that pass and the intended target of Rubitus. 15 seconds now. Puck battle for the neutral zone. Finds Zupe, who gives it up to Bystrom. 10 seconds, last gasp for Purification as an offsides is called. .8 seconds remaining. Purification's playoff hopes hang on by a thread. Can they extend their season here? Face off, won by Purification. 5 seconds, bump from behind by Firecast. Puck loose behind the net. Nijmeš gets it, clears it to Matzi, and that will do it. Renascor upsets Purification. They play spoiler, and Purification now eliminated from playoff contention. The Blackjacks one step closer to clinching that eighth seed. As we mentioned, Vesapampa still technically able to get in, but they would have to win all of their games in regulation, and the tiebreaker would also have to go in their favor more than likely as well if they were to win one of those games in overtime. So an 11-point difference between those two teams. So out of a possible of 12 points, Vesapampa would have to pretty much run the table in one way or another. But the story here, Renascor defeating Purification 2-1 in game number 1. Purification eliminated from playoff contention in their first season in the Elite Division. While Renascor a massive victory, this will move them up to 14th in the standings past Hymo. And with one more game remaining, they could possibly go up to 13th in a tie with Goons. Again, they will be in the relegation series regardless, but it does have an impact on the matchups, as the 15th place team will face the runner-up of the Pro Division, while the other two teams play the losing semifinalists. As we will go back into the studio, Brandon B. Major Bigsby with you here for ECL Elite Division coverage, as we just saw Renascor defeat Purification 2-1 in regulation. Purification now eliminated from playoff contention. Renascor moves their way up just ever so slightly in the standings. We're going to take a breath here and take a short break here. A quick word from our amazing sponsor in COVID Unlocked, who we once again thank for their amazing support of our ECL coverage. Do not go away. Game number 2 between these two teams in our final game of today's broadcast on the other side.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi. Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.
All right, we are back as Purification and Renascor are ready to go, and we are as well. Purification looking to bounce back after that 2-1 regulation loss in game number 1, and fortunately no longer in playoff contention, but their last game of the regular season and their rookie elite season, want to end it on a high note. They've had a lot to be proud of this season. See if they can do so as we are underway. Purification versus Renascor. We are looking at the point of view of Purification. They're in the all grays, while Renascor in their white and red jerseys. As a puck battle forward down low, Vilpiuna gets it. Puck went across, almost had Laxton's stick, but couldn't find it as Matsi skates his way through between the legs. Deke tried to go through the defenders and get a quick shot on, but turned over as a great defensive play there from Purification. Rubatus goes back to Bystrom. Couldn't find him cleanly as a shot on. Puck loose in hole, and he gets it as it was kind of bouncing around there between his glove and his pad, but he was able to get it for a freeze. Face off to the right of Hull, left side of our screen. One clean lead to the point. Zupe tries to skate in through the middle, but no room for him as Kreis causes the turnover and gives it to his fellow winger in Firecast, who's hit as he crossed the blue line, and Purification now takes possession. Bystrom gives it up over to Vilpiuna. Now over to Laxton. He didn't have a lot of room as that puck goes all the way around and will be found by Purification for an icing. So we'll go to the opposite end for a Purification offensive zone faceoff. Face off to the right side of Hull. Tie up. Won by Purification in the offensive zone. Bystrom controls it, gives it to Zupe. Now a one-timer off of the pass. Laxton with a good chance, but it couldn't go through. Rubatus has behind the net. Vilpiuna with a shot on, hits the side of the net. Purification starting to buzz a little bit here. Bystrom controls it. Shot on, another chance potentially, but the rebound didn't go their way. Hull standing strong there on back-to-back-to-back attempts. Firecats over to Kreis. Pass across. Firecats puts it in. Renascor, once again, a 1-0 lead. They start out the scoring here in game number 2. All 3 goals off the stick of Firecats as a little tic-tac-toe play between the two wingers of Kreis and Firecats. Shot just squeaking past Scumbu on that play. So a 1-0 scoreline here. And a score up ahead of Purification. This is exactly the type of hockey you want to see down the stretch for Renascor, a team that, as we mentioned, hoping to stay in the Elite Division next season. It's been a long time in pro. Don't want to go back down there, as maybe finding some form here late this season. Take some time to adjust to this elite level, and Renascor seeming to find their way. These two teams met in the semifinals in the Pro Division last year as the offhand one-time shot from Rubatus was saved by Hull. Purification has to reverse course and now have it in the neutral zone. Bystrom controls it. Trying to find a passing lane, nothing there. Is an offside going to be drawn? And that's really been the story here for Renascor, just the level of defense they've been able to play. They've given Purification a lot of trouble trying to cross that blue line, and they just haven't been able to really find a lot of offensive zone time if it hasn't already been there off of an icing. Zone faceoff won by Purification. They get into the offensive zone now. Laxton with a one-time shot, save made by Hull. Vilpiuna gets it back low. A little backhand off to the side. May have hit the side of the cage, may have hit off of Hull. Couldn't totally tell there, but nevertheless, a non-dangerous chance as Purification still looking for their first goal of this contest. Score have it. Firecats circles it around. Puck tries to find its way back to the high slot, but Renascor not able to take advantage of that pass as the puck goes all the way back. Scumbu had to kick that one away as Purification looked to respond with a counterattack. Up in the corner board, battled for between Viewers Active and Lax, and it finds its way to Robotus on the opposite side. Zupe has control, backhand, Hole gets a hold of it. We'll stop it for a freeze, less than 6 minutes remaining. Purification trying to get something going here offensively. They've had plenty of time on attack here, 3 minutes and 17 seconds compared to just 23 seconds for Renascor in the offensive zone. Face off, one clean back by Purification, and the shot on, tipped in front, and finds its way in the back of the net. That's Vilpayuna who will get the goal. And Purification tie this one up at 1 apiece. Vilpayuna, his 12th goal of the season, right there on that tip play. Beautiful face-off play, one back cleanly. The Bystrom gives it to Zupe. Zupe puts it on. Vilpayuna in the perfect position to put that one in on the tip. Nothing you can really do about those tip plays as a goaltender. Beats Hole, and just like that, we're tied at 1. Renascor trying to respond. They were in the offensive zone for just a second, but not for long, as here comes Purification once again. Bump from behind there was Rubitus is turned over, and here comes Christ. Shot on! Big save made by Scumbu. Near breakaway save there. Scumbu, he's been phenomenal in this series so far. Both goaltenders have been just as we expect this. The shot goes wide there from Bystrom. Purification still in control. Zupe pass across in front. Picked off there, however, by Christ. That was a potential chance again for Purification. Nymish gates it up, pass across, doesn't find a home. Firecats ends up getting it at the top of the point. Pass the crossover as Nymish tried to pinch a little bit and get an offensive chance, but it's turned over, and here comes Purification on the other end. Had it for a second, but it does find its way in the offensive zone. Now all the way back to the neutral zone after it was turned over. Purification finds that puck and is controlled by Vilpayuna and given to Bystrom. Bystrom dumps it in and now will be given chase and found by Renascor for an icing. 33.4 seconds remaining, tied at 1. Renascor have an offensive faceoff coming up. Another big hit there for Renascor, who have really won the game in terms of physicality. You see 16 hits for them already in the first period of this game alone. High up face-off, won by Renascor. Shot on, saved by Hull. 10 seconds left. Firecats in front. Couldn't get that shot cleanly. It was bumped off there by a defender of Purification. 2 seconds remaining. Motzi just going to shoot that one on net as it looked like it maybe was going to go for an icing with a tenth of a second left, but we'll just run it off. And that will do it for the end of the first period. Renascor and Purification tied at 1 apiece after 20 minutes here in game number 2, as that was the goal that gave Renascor their initial lead, but Purification late in the third period off of a face-off play, able to find the tying mark off of a tip play from the centerman in Vilpayuna in front. We've talked a little bit about the hits for Renascor so far in this game. I couldn't help but to get curious and see where they ranked in the league in hits. Third with 790. The only teams with more hits than them are Unwanted with 814 and Goons with an unparalleled 1,163 hits. That's an ECL record across all leagues and all divisions. So the best hitting team the ECL has ever seen, and Renascor not too far away from them. Pretty impressive to see how they have been able to assert their physicality so far throughout this season. It's shown so far here in this game. But a tie score, nevertheless, at 1 apiece. We are back underway here. Second period of action. Tie-up face-off won by Purification. Bystrom will go back and control things here to get the breakout set up. That's his way into the offensive zone. It's a delayed penalty going to be called against Renascor. Firecats will go to the box for a tripping call, and Purification going to have a chance on the power play. Their second of this series. Were not able to do much with their first power play. It was late in the third period of that game number 1. Have an offensive zone face-off here for Purification. Won by Purification. Bystrom has it at the high right point. Circles around, gives it to Rubitus. Rubitus trying to find an option, didn't have anything there, but he gets the puck back to the right boards, but a delayed penalty called, and it's going to go against Purification. So 4-on-4 action here upcoming is Vilpeyuna going to go to the box for interference. See what happened here is puck battle in front, just jockeying for position, and unfortunately just a little bit too aggressive. Once again, just a new hitting in NHL 24 causes a lot of those penalties. We've seen more of those in the last 2 seasons than we've ever seen before then. Release of the 5-on-4, or excuse me, the 4-on-4. A waste of power play for Purification. Renascor had it behind their own net for a second. Monty ends up recovering it. A 3-on-2 here for Renascor. Here's Active had it, but a nice poke check there as Renascor gets their man out of the box, and they'll have a short power play here upcoming after an offside going to be called against Purification. It's off in the neutral zone, tied up and won by Purification. Laxon over Rubitus, save made by Holy, gets it back, however, behind the net. Bystrom holds it at the low left face-off circle, shot on, save by Holy, the pass in front of Rubitus. What a save! Purification gets off the turnover. They're just going to slap this one on the opposite end, and it'll be touched up for an icing. But how about Hull, who has been amazing so far this season? I mean, really both of these goaltenders have been great. We mentioned it earlier, if you're just now joining us, both of these goalies above an 84 save percentage, 2 of the highest marks in the league. 2 of the best goalies in the Elite Division this season. They have shown why here so far, putting on an absolute show. It's off one in the offensive zone by Renascor. Here's Active, has it behind the net. Holden gives it to Nymich. Nymich with a Michigan attempt. He just missed it. Had that left side of that open, but it looked like it might have been poked away and skied up a little bit in the air. That would have been a highlight play if I've ever seen one. Firecats has it and gives it to Virus Active over at the right boards. Active goes down low. Tried to hit Virus Active back there to Firecats, but could not hit him in stride as puck loose and battled forward the left boards. It's found by Purification, who skated into the offensive end. Vilpeyuna gets it and he scores on it. Goes behind the net, makes the play happen over at the wraparound attempt. And Purification, with their second goal, both from the centerman and Vilpeyuna, his 13th of the season. And Purification, for the first time in this series, take the lead. Renascor now looking for a response. Turned over as here comes Laxon now in the offensive zone. Finds Rubitus, hits Vilpeyuna back, puck loose at the red line, it trickles in! A hat trick for Vilpeyuna, and a timeout going to be called by Renascor, a 3-1 Purification lead. And man, Purification has to be kind of wondering where this offense was in the last game, as back-to-back goals from Vilpeyuna in just a matter of less than 2 minutes. Renascor are going to try to calm down this momentum as Vilpeyuna with the hat-trick goal. Hull tried to go back and grab that from crossing the red line. It hit off of his blocker, trickled its way in. Couldn't get a hold of it before it crossed, and Renascor, after having so much momentum to start this game out, now find themselves down by 2 and facing a tide of momentum in favor of Purification. 3-1 scoreline here halfway through this game as Renascor win the faceoff in the neutral zone. Turned over immediately as they cross the blue line, and here comes Purification again. Vilpeyuna has a backhand shot on, another shot on, both saved by Hull, and both very in tight. Slapped up the boards. Matzi gets Renascor and passes the blue line. Matzi holding, works his way through the middle. Pass across, shot on. Saved by Scumbu, who'll go ahead and play this out. High-paced action here in the second period as Vilpayuna controls it and gives it up to Rubitus. Now over to the left defenseman in Zupe, who turns it over, and now Renascor counters. Hitter's active, holds it, spins, couldn't find the pass across, but it's found again here by Renascor in the offensive zone. Turned over. Purification, get it back. Vilpayuna shot on, blocked in front, gets it back behind the net. Tried to pass it back over to Rubitus over at the left boards, but couldn't find him as it was picked off by Renascor. Try to counter, but an offside going to be called as they cross the blue line. .49 to go here in the second. Purification up by 2 after back-to-back goals from Vilpayuna, who has a hat trick in this one. Zupe has it, finds his way up to Rubitus. Is a 2-on-2, now 3-on-3. Hull with the shot on saved. Plays it, but gets it back, and another save! What a play by Hull! Robbed on that one. A quick opportunity out of nowhere for Purification, but Hull right where he needed to be to make the play. Renascor trying to give their man some help. A shot on from Matzi, saved by Scumbu. Still held, however, by Renascor. Turned over by Renascor. 3-on-2 for Purification. Zupe trying to work its way past the defender. Lost the puck. Finds its way to the left corner board, and it's picked up by Renascor. Moves his way up into the offensive zone. Matzi controls it, pushing up from that lefty spot. Shot on it, he scores! Beats him 5-hole. Matzi cuts the lead in half. A 3-2 score, and the left defenseman with his 10th goal of the season for Renascor this year. We've seen Matzi push the issue a few times. Not afraid to jump up in the play to try to create some offense. He does so right there. Goes to his advantage. As Matzi, despite being a defender, second on this team in goals this season with 10 now. And that one brings Renascor within 1. Just a minute to play here in the second period. Purification trying to get that goal back. Shot up, they score! Who else? Vilpayuna once again, his 4th. He has every goal for Purification and the perfect response at the perfect time. His team back up by 2 again. Just squeaked it through the 5-hole of Hull. Maybe went from the left pad. Couldn't totally tell there, but nevertheless, Purification with a perfect response. Back up by 2 here late in the second. They have another in them. Zupe skates it in the offensive end. Has behind the net. 15 seconds remaining. Puck loose to the right corner board. Matzi finds it, picks it up, and slaps it off the boards to Nijmich. Finds Firecast back to Nijmich. 2 seconds, needs a shot on. Won't do so as it's poke checked away by Rubitus. And that will do it for a high-flying second period. As the story of the game, the man of the match so far, Vilpayuna, 3 goals in that second period alone. 4 goals in this game, a 4-2 lead for Purification. Renascor trying to mark their way to a comeback. As by the way, just want to give you a bit of a quick stat here. We talked about Matzi being such a goal scorer from that lefty spot. That 10th goal of the season gives Matzi the lead for all defensemen in goal scoring. He's the only defender in the entire elite division to have double-digit goals here this season. He adds on to his tallies. We get another look here at some of the work that Vilpayuna has done. Now is the most recent goal as it just squeaks past that left pad of Hull, and it just squeaks past the post there as well. A few more inches to the right, and that puck may not go in. Say it's a game of inches. You see why right there. Purification up by 2 off of that play right there. So we go into the third period. Neutral zone faceoff won by Purification. Vilpayuna, the 4-goal scorer, controls it, loses it, however, but gets it back. Laxon at the left side. Laxon's been held rather in check. The leading goal scorer for Purification coming into today. More than 20 goals so far in this campaign. Rubentus controls it, gives it up to Laxon. Shot on, puck loose, and Hull saves it, but he passes it out. And a penalty going to be drawn. Purification on the power play. So Hull being a little bit of aggressive on that play, plays it out. Not sure if his teammates were expecting that or not. It ends up leading to a penalty against Renascor as it'll be Vedus Active going into the box. Power play upcoming for Purification. 0 for 1 so far today, 0 for 2 in the series. Jackson to Zupe at the left face-off circle, passed across, nobody home. Rubentus ends up getting it now over to Bystrom. Now to Zupe, over to Rubentus, a shot on, pad save made, and now a 5-on-3 for Purification. Another penalty. This time is going to go against Nymich. As once again, it's an interference in front of the net. Seen a lot of those called here so far today. And Purification, a chance to bust this game wide open with the 5-on-3. Massive penalty kill here for Renascor. Zupe controls at the left point. Spins, turns, pass across, shot on. Blocker save made by Hull. Lopayuna gets it back, full pressure for Purification. Rubentus shot on the pass over. That was Laxon on the one time, but it was saved. Zupe shot on, puck loose in front, found by Hull. He'll find it with his glove and he'll hold on for the stoppage. Beautiful power play work for Purification, moving that puck around beautifully. Shots 22-8 in favor of Purification. They have 35 seconds left in 5-on-3. Bystrom holds it at the high slot, taking his time. All three defenders for Renascor crouch block in front. Another shot on, third shot on, all saved by Hull. Rubentus controls it at the right side, gives it to Bystrom at the point. Bystrom holds it, shot on in front, blocked. Found behind the net by the left winger of Laxon, but now Vedus Active out of the box and a breakaway backhand pad save made by Scumbo. Stack the pads, making a little flare on that save. Back to 5-on-5 action, a huge kill there for Renascor. Vedus Active controls in the neutral zone. All right, to pass it over to Crikes, but he couldn't hold on to it, and he gets it back. Motzi now with it at the left point. Motzi down the Crikes, up in front, pass across. Oh! Saved by Bystrom. The puck was going to go in, but he saved it with his stick and picked it up. Close calls here on both ends. Motzi skates it in, pass across, backhanded, they score! Renascor cuts the lead down the one, and who else but Firecast to put it in the back of the net once again for this Renascor side. As we get a look at the replay, and it felt like Renascor, with the way they were pushing after killing off that 5-on-3, could maybe get something going. And as you see Motzi pushing up there after picking that puck up off the board, skates through, finds his man in Firecats' opposite side for the cross crease. Second goal for Firecats, fourth of this series alone. And the lead cut down the one. Slapped all the way around and picked up by Zupe for the icing call. Purification going to get an offensive zone faceoff here upcoming. 1-goal game, less than 12 minutes remaining. Purification looking to get a split of this series. No longer in playoff contention, but trying to get a good record here as they're in no man's land. Will be back in this division more than likely next season. Should clinch it here with a victory. Motzi with it, between the legs, move, shot on, save made by Scumbo. Puck loose, however, at the right corner board and picked up by Purification. Here comes Zupe, has numbers, 3-on-2. Tried to stride deke his way over the middle of the ice, but it was bumped off. As Purification gets it back in the neutral zone. Bystrom controls it, big hit there by Renascor. I believe that was Nymich that laid the hammer. Empty net for Renascor, delayed penalty for Purification. Power play upcoming here for Renascor, lest they score here. Crikes has it. Got it back after a shot on that was saved. Another chance here. Kreitz in the high slot. All 6 men out on the ice here as Hull comes out of the net and joins them. Nymich gives it over to Firecats as it's still active here for Renascor. Purification not able to touch up. Shot on in front, blocked. And finally touched up on by Purification. A power play upcoming is going to the box. Will be Vilpiuna, who will head to the sin bin for the second time here in this game. That trip over on the boards was what drew it. Renascor, a team that could use some zone time, will get a chance here with the offensive zone face-off and the man advantage. 0 for 1 on the power play. Not a single shot during their first attempt. Cation dumped that in. Met by Nijmich, who will give it to Virusactive. Virusactive tiptoes past the blue line. Holds it at the high point and goes down low to Matzi. Matzi over to Nijmich at the high slot. Lost control. Bystrom gets it. Puck battle forward the high point and found by Renascor. Turned over, however, and now here comes Purification. With speed right now is Laxton, but he's hit off of it at the blue line. Picked up by Renascor. Just 30 seconds off the power play. Renascor still not able to find much success as they cross the blue line, but it's called offside. As you take a look at another big hit, Laxton taking the brunt of that one yet again. He's going to be black and blue at the end of this one. He's taking his fair share of hits on those boards. Zone face-off, won by Purification. Poked away there from Zube, but found back to him. Passes it over to the left winger, Laxton, and it'll be dumped out and back to 5-on-5. Purification hold on. They kill off the penalty and maintain their 1-goal lead as they will get an icing call to go their way, and they'll go back into the offensive zone. As it looks like Hull is going to be challenging Scumbo will be here. Skates out of his net near the point, and no penalty's going to be called there, luckily. Would hate to see that. Very good contest here between these two sides. Don't want to see it end that way. As a defensive zone faceoff won by Renascor. Nijmich skates it in the neutral zone and gives it to the Firecats. Passes the blue line, but an offside is called yet again. 3:52 remaining. Time running thin here on Renascor. Need to find at least one more goal here to tie this up. Tied up. Won by Purification. Rubitus tried to pass it across over to Vilpiuna, looking for a potential 5th goal of this contest. Couldn't get the puck in the stick, however, as Renascor controls it here with Matzi. Gives it to Nijmich, who pinches up, shot on, goes wide past Scumbu, as here comes Purification. 3-on-3 shot on, pass save made. A rebound opportunity as Renascor gets it. As another offside going to be called as Renascor tried to cross the blue line, not able to break into the offensive zone here on their last few attempts. 91 seconds to play, and remember, this last minute going to be a fast minute. Matzi breaks it in, turned over. Purification has it. Vilpiuna pass across, backhand save made! Puck still loose, however, but it's picked up by Virusactive. 25 seconds remaining. Last gasps here for Renascor. Firecats has it, shot on. Goes wide. Puck still loose as Firecats gets it back. Now Virusactive gets it. Shot was saved there by Scumbu. 12 seconds remaining. Purification has it. Turned over, however, and here comes Nijmich. Skates it in the offensive zone. 7 seconds. Nijmich back across. Puck loose, but the netting was brought off. And with 6.8 remaining, we will see an offensive zone face-off here for Renascor. They pull the goalie. Hull is out with them. Tied up, face-off won by Purification, but brought back by Renascor. 2 seconds, shot on, blocked in front, picked up by Purification, and that will do it. Purification holds on, a 4-3 victory. They win off of the back of Vilpiuna. The centerman scores all 4 goals for his team. So 3 points in the standings for Purification, so not going to be able to find their way in the playoffs this season, unfortunately, but Purification add to their tally here in the standings with 2 games remaining. They move up to 10th. They pass Polsky boys. 39 total points here for them as Purification, plenty to be proud of here in their first season in the Elite Division. 11 13-2-2 so far as they made their way up last season or this season. Have competed well, got on a bit of a hot streak late. That's what got them in, or got in the middle of the season. That's what got them in. But unfortunately, later in the season, they've kind of cooled off for 3-6-1 in their last 10 coming into this one. But are able to find the split here with Renascor as both these games decided by just one goal. 2-1 victory for Renascor in game 1, a 4-3 victory for Purification in game number 2, as we will bring it back into the studio. Brandon B. Major Bigsby with you, as that is the last of our 4-game coverage here. As if you were just joining us a little bit late, we started out with Straikers versus Tunnel Vision, two of the top teams in the Elite Division for the last few years, meeting up head-to-head, both with a chance to take the number 1 spot in the Elite Division, with Valdu Koitinen still having to play. Straikers winning both of those games 2-0 in game number 1, and then a dominant 5-2 win in game number 2. And then in this series, Purification and Renascor. Purification had an outside chance of getting in the playoffs. They needed at least 10 of 12 points. They're going to have to not take any regulation losses. They did so in game 1. Renascor upsetting them 2-1 in that first game. And as we just saw, Purification repaying the favor, a 4-3 regulation win, as Renascor wrap up their season with that loss, but nevertheless, still going to be able to play in the relegation series to keep their spot in the Elite Division, hopefully for them, in the Winter 25 season. Before we wrap up, we want to make sure to remind you, make sure to be right back here tomorrow at 19:45 CEST, as we have the regular season finale of the ECL Elite Division, and the first series going to be a battle for the number 1 seed. Number 1 Valdu Koitinen Esports versus number 2 Straikers, the El Clasico that we have come to adopt here over the last 4 or 5 years, formerly H-Reds and Frölunda, formerly H-Reds and Philadelphia. Now Valdu Koitinen Esports and Straikers. These two sides are separated by just 5 points. Straikers need to make that up to overtake Valdu Koitinen for that number 1 spot. If they can get to regulation wins, they will overtake that spot. Valdu Koitinen just need 1 point to secure that number 1 spot, while for Straikers, more than likely going to secure that number 2 spot, just 4 points ahead of Totori. But we'll get a look at the standings here before we go back, as we'll also have more action from Purification versus Unwanted after that series. Unwanted locked into the playoffs. Purification purely playing for points here, as we get a look here at the updated standings. As we talked about, Straikers and Valdu Koitinen will battle for that number 1 spot. Valdu Koitinen just need 1 point to secure that spot, while Totori, they're going to be rooting for Valdu Koitinen Esports, as if they can find their way to 4 or 5 points and Valdu Koitinen can beat Straikers in both of those games, they would overtake them for that number 2 spot if Totori could go ahead and find some points. So we'll see what happens, and Tunnel Vision going to hope for all 3 of those teams ahead of them to drop games, as they're currently sitting at that number 4 spot with 52 points. They are punched into that number 4 spot due to Bjorklöven having all of their games in. Unwanted could still technically surpass Tunnel Vision, but more than likely it would take a lot. They would have to secure at least 5 points. Tunnel Vision would have to drop both more than likely. Tunnel Vision matching up against Vesa Pampa, who is the last team that could pass the Blackjacks for that number 8 spot. So the Blackjacks going to be watching tomorrow rather closely. We more than likely will not have much coverage of that unless there is some bonus coverage, or unless we do get a switch of one of those games. But Vesa Pampa, the last team eligible on that right side of the board to make it in to the left side, they would have to win all of their games from this point forward, as it's going to take 11 points at a bare minimum. They can get a maximum of 12, so they're going to have to win out. More than likely, they're going to have to win all of them in regulation. They played Tunnel Vision, and I believe the other team that they play is Renascor. So Vesa Pampa going to have their work cut out for them, but we'll see if they can surpass the Blackjacks for that last spot. So all 8 teams pretty much clinched outside of that last playoff spot. It'll either be the Blackjacks or Vesa Pampa in that spot. Now, the playoff seeding. We will have that finalized here this time tomorrow. So make sure you tune in at 19:45 CEST right here, twitch.tv/SportsGamerGG. Sin and myself will be on the call for that, as that will do it for today's coverage. A big shout out to our sponsor in Coven on Locknacy for their amazing support. A big shout out to Ride Guy for the amazing production behind the scenes, and everyone at SportsGamerGG that makes our coverage and the ECL possible. Thank you all for tuning in. Brandon B. Major Bigsby signing out here. Thank you all for watching. We will see you right back here for more ECL Elite Division coverage. Thank you all for watching, and have a great night, everyone.
Minkä päällä lakukastike maistuu parhaalta? Ei voi tietää, ellei kokeile. Kouvolan lakritsi.